now.
Aha! Okay, there we go. Did people
My
listen
Stream
to
Deck
things?
button
Did somebody...
didn't.
Grr.
Yeah, it went grr.
Didn't grr.
Does anybody want to do a recap? I've listened to things kind of recently. Yeah, Steven's just like,
It's been a
definitely.
minute.
Yeah, it has been
full
on a
disclosure,
minute.
I have not had a chance to look back. It has been
Not a problem.
a while.
Mine was in fits and bursts.
The latest.
Looking at my
the latest video is up.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah.
That doesn't
No,
mean
I
that everybody had time. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will say most of it was just strategy planning, and I was very grateful to Jason for playing pretty much all of the voices in the room of the NPCs, so that I didn't have to intervene and risk giving you more than what would normally be available to you because I accidentally throw meta information at you. Which I do that sometimes anyway. You guys are pretty good about not metagaming with it, and sometimes it's fun to say what I had in my head. But yeah, there was a whole heck of a lot of planning. So when we left off, there was also some magic physics spoken about that I don't know if anybody decided if that was going to play a big part in the
Yeah, that's right.
possibility of
About
creating.
creating some sort of a wormhole.
Yeah, yeah.
Barrier, the temple barrier or whatever.
But
Yeah.
that kind of fell back in the conversation as we went through. I believe in favor of the idea of destroying the phylacteries first, alerting Cochet to that would effectively alert Cochet to the fact that his phylacteries are being destroyed, which would then send him to potentially the Demon
The
King.
Hells.
Yeah, the
Right.
Hells, to collect his last one before somebody else was able to try to secure it, which would be a pretty big distraction because Cochet would be a bigger threat than you guys. While I think the idea, although I don't remember that it was explicitly said, was that you either manage to get it there, or if you cannot manage to get it there within reasonable amounts of safety, or defeat him there rather, you at least grab the wand and find a way to get him to come to you in a weakened state after fighting the demon on your terms to like effectively lure him into a fight there. There was also discussion, and Eden was in character at the time, so I think this was discussed, although I don't think it was discussed in front of Eric or anybody who would know very much about the lamp, of if it is a struggle to try to defeat him in whatever circumstance he ends up in. A plan B situation could potentially be to trap him inside the lamp until you can defeat him. So that's a thing. That's why you have lamp stats now, because I was like, I gotta know how this works in case you use it. I don't know if you're gonna, but there's also the possibility. A few other things were floated. The possibility of a bag of holding inside a bag of holding, with Paul as the tribute volunteer there, in case. Isanji seemed a little on the fence. Like, there is certainly a possibility that would work, but it would also be a lot of collateral damage, and it's not a 100% will work situation. You
And that
did
was the
learn.
idea of us putting the wand in the bag of holding, or putting the stuff in the bag of holding and then putting that bag of holding in another bag of holding.
Yeah, and he does think that that could work, but it would be a more definitive, this would work to find a sphere of annihilation. He is fairly confident that that would certainly work as a backup, although he doesn't currently know where one is. Like, you guys could probably figure that out if you needed to as another plan B, C, whatever.
Where's Nate?
Right?
Nate is
Right.
by the. Oh, somehow he's by the sphere of annihilation.
somehow, like that, wherever there is an 8, there is probably a sphere of annihilation somewhere close by that he wants to poke. So yeah, that is also a thing. You learned that Isanji and Antony had voluntarily allowed themselves to be taken into custody, and they are now in a little box prison that is bigger on the inside. But they are being made very comfortable, and he has designed the last 2 pieces of something that should effectively unwind the magical material involved in um, the composition of the phylacteries and return them to the weave as they were intended instead of in their current desecrated state. So effectively recycling the magic back where it came from in a better form from what was put in there. I have
And
here.
that would work on one item, like it's one item at a time that would work on, and it takes like quite a bit of time for each one, right?
Not a crazy amount of time. It would be a few hours going through, but you could pretty well like. I want to say I didn't write this part down, but I want to say that I said like it would be over the course of a day or two, effectively like it breaking it down and whatnot. So not like weeks, but I don't think you're gonna be able to get it all in like an hour. You know.
Right.
So potentially like I'd say 24 to 48 hours kind of depends on the number of souls that each item has been fed. As phylacteries do work that way. So I have written here that the last time Jason said, so here's my plan. It was A, complete the machine. B, take all of your buffs and long rests that you can, make sure that everything is well equipped. C, establish how the defense against Cochet on site will look, and then how defense against Cochet on your terms would look. So that was like the little bullet points there. There are scouts that are looking into what the physical and magical barriers are for you to be able to get to the wand. They're going to try and get in as close as they can. And then I have written down all of the various people who would ultimately be available to be involved in this. You did learn, I think that was when you learned about all of the different Demon King power situations going on
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
like 3 of them, and
Yeah.
there's sort of like an uncomfortable balance right now between the 3.
Yeah, they all have different things that they're like different strengths, different weaknesses. You've got Haluk, which is the demon eater, that is where your wand is located. Very much more your classic torment, torture, thriving on that kind of thing. For the souls that they trap, but leading kind of more with fear than anything else. There's Bellis, who is kind of more the tempter, the deal maker, the lawful, the devil's advocate, the devil advocate, and more the manipulator, the loophole finder. And then there's Hastier, the king in yellow, who is your wild card. Everybody's scared of him because he's an old one that is effectively unknowable, unpredictable, and nobody totally understands what the motivations are there. So you found out about that. And I think, I'm trying to think if magic physics, potential loophole there. There was a lot of discussion between like whether it's best to try and pit people against each other down there, all of that. I think you decided against that, although like those characters might still be tools at your disposal. It was never completely clear to me if you decided to walk in the front door or like what that part. Maybe you haven't quite clarified that for yourselves. If it's go right in, say, hey, this is about to happen. If it's best to, like, it was tossed around, but I don't think the approach was quite decided. Yeah, conveniently, there is a tiefling, well, two tieflings technically amongst you, that probably blend in better than others. You got to put like the little barrette clips on that so you can just clip it to your headset.
I actually have Velcro to do it, but I can't find the other Velcro piece.
Yeah, if I recall, because we considered like whether we wanted to maybe create like a conflict in the hell to make a distraction, and then we talked about potentially like allying ourselves, and then I think we all decided like, yeah, probably better not to try to ally ourselves with a bigger problem than Crochet.
Yeah, yeah. So, while I'm
So
not sure how you intend on infiltrating the defenses to get what you want, I do think that that is true. You decided that like a deal was probably a bad idea.
yeah. So again, because Paul's not in on these discussions and doesn't have the capacity to understand what the hell's going on. But Jason thinks that our best chance of success is destroy the phylacteries, create an environment where Crochet is like he's knows that it's happening and he has to move and act. And he's going to act to try to protect the one that he has left. And that will create an environment where he will have to go there. So if he's going there, we've got a better chance to defeat him, or at least get in and get the phylactery while he's being dealt with by the demon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but do we know how the demon came to have this? Like, are him and Crochet buddies, and he's holding on to it for him? Thus,
Didn't they
there would
discuss-
not be a conflict.
I think the understanding is the demon doesn't know it's there. The demon
Yeah.
isn't aware that it's there.
Okay.
Crochet has hidden it somehow without the demon being aware of it.
Okay.
I think
I
that
was
was the
just saying, like-
conclusion we came to. Whether or not that was actually ever said, I don't remember. Did the
It
scouts
was-
say that?
The scouts did not say that. That is actually meta knowledge that you wouldn't 100% know.
Okay. I thought it was someone who had like confirmed that with us then. So we don't know that then.
That was something that was floated, however, like it was by someone who was not 100% sure. I forget which one of the 5,000 NPCs said it, but it was floated as a possibility that they found strong evidence. Like it's all circumstantial evidence. Like they have no evidence really concretely, but they have intuited that that is the case. But like it's not a 100% known thing.
They would have eaten it if he'd known.
Yeah, and that I think that was one of the things that you guys talked about is like, well, what happens if he eats it? Does that destroy it? Does that? And I think that's where that came up. I could be wrong because like there was a whole lot of planning discussed, and I wrote down like important points and whatnot, and then like the stuff that you guys didn't stick to, I was not as good about writing down. So, but I think that was when that came up was like, oh, he could just like eat it and then it would destroy it, right? And I had to go, wait. No, I don't think it would work that way.
No.
I didn't say that out loud, but I think you guys came to that conclusion anyway, that was probably not a good idea since it like devours other things and takes their power. Like probably not the best thing to arm them with a phylactery and see what happens.
Yeah. If we can avoid the demon eating the phylactery, it's better for it. I mean, if the demon eats the phylactery, like I'm going to be like, well, you know what? All right, that's
It's been
that
nice
problem.
knowing
So
ya.
can't do anything about that anymore. That is somebody else's problem.
Yeah. It'd be a bad combination of things. So yeah, I think that was one of the big things that they were like, I don't think that would be because if he knew, he'd probably have already done something with that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I just meant like if him and Crochet are buddies, and
I
he
mean-
shows up and is like, "Hey, man, I need that wand back."
It's
Thanks
not
for holding it for me.
off the table.
Thanks for holding it
Yeah.
for yeah.
Yeah.
Demon
That's-
Even if
Lord.
he doesn't know that the wand is there, they could be friendly. You don't know. Like,
Mm.
nobody really has that information.
I mean,
So
demon lords and creatures like Koshé who are out for like ultimate power don't strike me as the kind of people that have like best buds.
That's fair.
yeah. And if there is an alliance, we're talking like the alliance between like Hitler and Stalin, probably.
Right.
So,
Well,
It's a real thin line.
yeah, they're both just waiting for the opportune moment to screw the other one over.
Your friends and your enemies start looking real similar at a certain level of power.
Yeah, so I think that is still our best bet because worst case scenario, like even if we go into a crazy hectic environment, Koshé is definitely the bigger problem for them. And so all we have to do is try to remain less of a nuisance to try to get in we need to get out. Which is again not Paul's forte, but something that might make more sense. And then but even if it's a case where we end up having to fight, at least we're fighting Koshé in an environment that isn't his, where he doesn't have the upper hand from that. And then there's the option that these whatever demons that are in this hell are going to also be attacking him. So that's more an opportunity for us to help get his HP lower. And then essentially the goal is we need to neutralize him. And my thought process is if we can get him to the point where, even if we get him to the point where his HP is low enough, we can at least get him trapped. I care less about the phylactery if we've got him trapped. Like if he's trapped, at that point I'm like, you know what? Leave the one phylactery there. That is a future problem we can deal with at another time. Let's just keep this guy sealed and destroy all the others that we already have.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately, Eden will want to kill it, but like, that you could take as much time as you need to be able to deal with that at that point. So,
Right. Yeah. But like we've got a position where we can like, hey, let's just spend the next year or two
Just
developing as
getting
much
super buff in the gym.
much information as we can get about this environment.
Doing the Goku
Maybe
thing.
get a couple demons, like lower demons who might have access, figure out a way that we can get like more information. So
Best case, Koshé ends up dead. Slightly worse case, but still a good outcome. He's just off the board for a little while until we deal with him.
yeah, neutralized in one way or the other.
Well, I guess I would think worst case scenario is he beats us there, gets the phylactery, and gets out of dodge, and then just starts making more.
I mean, that's not really the worst case scenario for you guys, but
No, but like
for general purposes.
Yeah. But again, even if we're in a position where that ends up happening, we're really no worse off than we are right now. Right? I mean, to be fair, like the if you look at it from a cost benefit analysis, the only the only real problem here is the fact that we might all die doing this.
right.
But the benefits are pretty significant, and we've got quite a few options that are leaning more towards our favor. And the worst scenario in this, other than us all dying, is he's only got one phylactery left, and he's still just as powerful. We're still going to have to take him out in his lair. So the odds haven't changed for us. It's just and it's not like he's not already aware of us at this point. So that's my thought process. Is like this is, to me, I think this is just the best opportunity for success. Crazy dangerous, but I think it's the best option we got right now.
I actually really enjoyed that every option that you guys were talking about had like interesting good things about it, and they were all crazy dangerous. So it's like, it's real risk regardless. It just depends on where you allocate that risk and what you want to have to deal with later. So it was
Right.
fun for me listening to it and going like, I like this because you're going to have to deal with a whole bunch of crap regardless, and it's fun for me.
Yeah, and my thought process is if we're going to deal with like major risk, I would rather just run the risk of finality. Like the
Makes
risk
sense.
is that we all die. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. I don't want like I'd rather just be like, okay, we're all dead, rather than okay, now we're basically indebted to a demon, or whatever other option
Yeah,
might be on
it's
the
fair.
table.
I think I'd rather be
And
dead
be like,
than
well, I'll just take death.
just death.
Death or cake. Sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably the best bet. So now it's just a case of like, how do we put? Well, I guess I should ask everybody. Does anybody else have a differing opinion? Does anybody else think that there's a better option here that we should be doing?
So, at least from an outside perspective, Eden is not entirely comfortable with the idea of not like just acting on it now, but he is like, no, like he does understand the reasoning that's there.
Preparation is important. And you don't have to spend like 12 years preparing. It's just something that you can do.
We
Like,
just need to do the Goku thing and get in the time capsule thing that like every day is like, or every year is like a day or something like that. Just go train for 3 years and it only is actually like 3 days.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
honestly, this place is goofy enough. There probably is a spot like that exists somewhere. I mean, there's a sun that involves like the time continuum. So,
Like, get close enough to a black hole and
We could legitimately be like, if we catch Koshei, we're like, all right, we're gonna go to this place and we're just gonna spend the next like 5 years just training our butts off. But it's only gonna be like, like 5 months in time over here. And when we come back, we expect you guys to have a lot of information for us on how to take this guy out. We've all leveled up to like 5 levels at that point. We're just badasses.
that's awesome.
okay. So speaking of holding Crochet, I was just looking through these stats on the lamp that
Mhm.
you sent. So I think you said it just a minute ago, but did we talk to Eric about this?
You have not
We
talked
did
to
not.
Eric
Okay.
about it. Like you can get that information in different ways. He would probably have the most knowledge about how these things work. Um, but like, yeah, you discussed doing it. You have not taken any action yet to learn about the house. So that is still up in the
Right.
air to you.
Okay. Because this Eden bought a lamp, right? Is that the lamp we're
Mhm.
talking about? Does Eric have a lamp?
No.
He has possession of that lamp currently.
Oh, does
Is
he?
the lamp
He's
you
Mhm.
bought?
actually holding it now.
Okay.
So
Is
yes, it's Eden's lamp. He has it.
he has it? Okay. Is Eden attuned to it?
No one has
No.
attuned.
No one has attuned. Okay.
Yeah, but we want someone who's got Jin ancestry attuned to it, right? Which is who is it in our party that has Jin?
Eric.
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 Yeah.
But he's taking a lot of risk with that item too. I mean, we wouldn't know that. I guess that's metagaming, but
Yeah.
Yeah, not yet, at least.
And does Eden know some of this stuff? No, you just bought a lamp. Okay.
Yep, he
Yep.
bought a lamp. He
And
saw a
I
genie lamp and went, this could be useful at some point. And lo and behold, it might be useful at some point.
well, yeah, because I picked it up when I was when we were getting gifts for
Mhm.
gifts for God, as it were, for the sun. Grom? Nope.
Grim.
Grim, not Grom. Yep.
Close.
No
But
cigar.
yeah. So he has the lamp. You don't know very much about it, but you know that genies get stuck in it, so that's
Mhm.
a good starting
Do
place.
we know enough
You
to know
have
that
to put it
Jin
on the-
like does anybody in our party know enough to know like how powerful Jin are in like comparison to what we would be dealing with Koshei?
Ooh, that's a good question. For those of you who have been here for a while, which Thea, I don't know. You're still like you haven't really been here until this adventuring party, right?
Right.
Okay. So you probably would not know this, but the rest of you have been here for a while in some fashion or form. Roll me I'll take a history or arcana, I think.
Nope.
You
So that'll be a 17 Arcana for me, for Tefn.
17 Arcana.
That would be a 4 for Paul.
Woof!
Paul's not great, so I don't know why.
5.
Woof! Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's rusty old lamp, man. Like, fairy tales say genies come out of them. You haven't seen one happen yet.
Put
Like,
oil in it,
wishes.
lock it.
I imagine Paul like spent some time rubbing it or something like that. Like maybe both of you, and nothing happened. Eric just gave you nasty looks out of the corner of his eye.
Try to put waiting.
So Keith, you would know, Tefn would know that a full djinn, in this world specifically, I don't actually know. Like I have stats for some that I created. I don't know what D&D stats for them are, but
Okay.
like a full djinn is an incredibly powerful creature. They are more highly blessed than the elementals of the world by the elemental gods. They are functionally portions of the spirits of the words. Words are hard right now, guys. Oh, the big thing that died to make this place. What the heck do you call
The
that?
Titan?
Titan.
Thank you, the Titan. Basic English sometimes just leaves. Yeah, like they are fragments of spirit in a more, I hesitate to say powerful way.
Concentrated.
In a more elemental fashion than pixies, which you would also be aware, like they are fragments of Titan spirit as well.
Okay.
To give you just a little bit of like D&D basis on this, the challenge level on like your standard djinn is like a challenge level 11.
Okay. So these guys, probably like a full-blooded djinn, would be pretty close to like an 18 to 19. Like
Okay.
they're not quite 20, but they're really thinking about it hard. And the more dilute that blood gets, you don't have as much of that just raw power, but it can be trained. So those with djinn blood are still very highly adept at a multitude of different things. But it was for those power reasons that people really sought out, which this you would get more with a history, but just for general knowledge, like this is one of the reasons people sought out ways to contain them, so that they could utilize that power and effectively weaponize it for their own uses.
Okay.
So, yeah. Because this is why we can't have nice things.
Okay. Well, I will relay that to the general group so that it is more common knowledge.
Yeah. This was built to hold something real powerful.
Yeah, so we have a pretty comfortable idea that if this thing isn't going to be able to hold crochet, there's probably not much else out there that could do it.
I would say, I mean, Paul doesn't know that, but most of you that have intelligence greater than a doorknob probably can construe that pretty easily. Like, this thing is built for holding and containing pretty high-level magic stuff.
How does Eric look like while we're discussing this? Is he?
We're in the
never
box
mind.
still, right?
Yeah, you are not currently there with him. So
I thought we aren't we in the like prison, the cell?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we're
he did
still
not-
there. Okay,
Yeah, he did not come with you to that space, so he's still with the others.
gotcha. Okay.
Well, I guess we should also talk to at some point somebody should maybe talk to somebody who knows more about the lamp and figure out like the details of that.
I can speak with Eric. It seems like something that he would know. He was bothered, I think, by the lamp a little.
As a, well, you have a lamp.
Like a genie's lamp is what I was told it was.
I haven't seen one of those in ages. Truly. A
It was
genie's lamp.
here in, or not here, but here in the White Kingdom. In the even in the not quite in the palace, but just outside the palace.
I would be very interested to see how they came about that. Fascinating. Well, it's without knowing what type of lamp it is, I can't give you specific details other than to say that it is quite powerful. But that's very interesting. But a useful tool in such situations. Well, I should have most of these bits and bobs done, and can get you. That was another thing that happened. He said that he could probably guide Teffin through a good chunk of the assembly, and then could help run at the. By the time you're no longer worried about Koshé knowing what you're doing, he could come out and help you with that part. So, so yes, I'll work to prepare all of this for you, and I'd be very interested if you don't end up needing it for Koshé in perhaps seeing some of that for myself. It's been a long time since I've had a chance to examine such an artifact.
I could examine it with Koshé in it.
If the lamp fits.
So what does everybody want to do? What do you guys think? What do you think we should finish up this device, start destroying everything, or buff ourselves up, start destroying these things and go to hell?
Go to hell.
I don't like the plan, but I don't have a better one, so let's go to hell.
Great.
Callan, who escorted you in here, I believe it was just him, right? I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Just nods. Like, I might actually be able to attend with you on this one. I feel like my skills might actually be more useful than my brother's for a change. He's a lot quieter than me, though, so perhaps not. Just in terms of radiant damage. I'll have to consider that. Well, let's...
Take all the firepower we can bring with us, just in case.
I suppose that's a thing that we'll want to discuss with the others. If we've come to the conclusion of what the best approach is, figuring out where to allocate who would be best in what capacities, and where to place them in this would be the next logical step of the planning process for this.
Do we know where inside of this place the wand is located?
You have a real rough idea. The scout that is looking into the barrier systems and things like that will have a better idea when they return, which should be sometime later in this day cycle.
We did see it though before, right? So we know it's in the treasure room.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
was at the time at least.
So you have a layout of that room. You kind of have a rough idea of how it would look getting into that space. But an exact layout of the castle is not something that you currently possess. I had every intention of building you guys a map. It didn't happen, so my apologies there. We get to theater of the mind that too. And just for reference, but
I have a really good mind for that.
That's good. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, Callan gestures for you guys to join him over at the key space and bids Isanji a like polite nod of a farewell. Like, we'll be back to see you shortly then. And guides you over to the wall where you are once again pulled by your navels out of a keyhole and end up standing in his office a little bit disoriented for a moment.
I don't like that
No.
feeling.
Did Paul go with the group for this, or did I have Paul? Was Paul doing something?
Nope,
else?
you peed on Sanji's plant in the corner, so
It
yes,
is
you were
beyond
there.
Sanji's plant. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That part I remember.
As one does.
While they were talking about strategy regarding the machine and how to handle that, you were in the corner peeing on the plants.
As
So what are we
one
doing,
does.
guys?
Well, I suppose we are getting ready to go to hell.
So it would seem.
Yeah.
Not just yet. There's a little bit more planning that has to be done. It's okay though. We'll get there.
Oh, that's just what Paul wants to hear.
Right? More planning?
Is there somewhere to train?
Please tell me there's somewhere he can go train.
Oh, certainly. There's like people use the downstairs space out by Esteel's cottage frequently as like more natural training ground. It has been known to happen in the Great Hall that you enter into. Whether that's a good thing or not is kind of debatable, but it's happened. There is a courtyard area in the back that very few people use, but it's there. Uh, so there are spaces where you can go and train if you would like.
Okay. Paul's gonna go find some booze and go train, I guess.
All right.
Paul, let me ask Eric a question, and I will join you.
Okay.
We might be able to coax Fern into joining you as well if you would like an opponent, perhaps, to
I
train
really want
against.
to watch that, actually. Like, desperately.
Fern is the giant cloud like cloud giant Goliath hybrid fighter.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, she would probably be willing to do this once you guys go in and talk to folks. So yeah, so we'll check with her once we're up. Shall we then? He'll lead you guys back up to the situation room currently. There are still people kind of trying to trace out ideas and different things to that effect. They still a little when you come in. So what have you learned? I don't even know who's talking at this point. We'll say that's tools.
We have to plan more.
It's what we're doing, actually, I thought. No?
We'll catch you in a moment, okay, Paul?
Okay.
Save a
I
sip
go-
for me.
Yep. I go to the booze and grab a couple bottles and go to the courtyard to go fight and drink.
They have gotten smarter, and there is a padlock now on the cellar.
Okay. What's the AC of the padlock?
Not as high as your striking bonus, probably.
Yeah. I mean, if that's where the booze are, that's where the booze are. So
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Like it's probably going to be fine. You could
But
probably
just
get
in
like
case you get
a
a
5.
that would be a 21.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That whole chunk of door just You take off the lock, you take off, like, there's this now just this opening where there was once a doorknob. Uh,
Yep.
just push it
I just grab
open.
a couple bottles, just random bottles.
I would like for you to roll me 2d20.
Roll for booze.
Yep, roll for booze.
2 d20s.
Yes.
I rolled a 2 and an 11.
2 and 11. Let's see what we got. 2 is Banshee's Breath. White swirling liquor made from a special translucent wild berry. Tastes sweet. Has a similar effect to mint gum in that it always feels cold.
Mhm.
And 11.
Refreshing.
Lily in a Well, a tall mug of ale, a tall ale, half full with an edible flower garnish. That is more of a mixed drink. So yeah, it's a flower ale of some kind. So
Sure.
yeah, it's a flowery ale. It's hoppy and light and sweet all at the same time.
There you go.
So
I
yeah,
take my bottles out back and start doing push-ups, I guess.
which of those areas are you residing in?
Just
Like,
with the courtyard, I guess, out back.
courtyard? Okay.
Yeah.
There are a couple of guards there, just hanging out, that see you're doing push-ups. One of them feels a little bit bad that he's not really doing anything and joins you in your push-ups.
Yep.
And if you would like, you can be the voices of reasons of my NPCs, in the upstairs area. So if when it comes to like planning the logistics of everything, if you want to pipe up, we will just say that your voice is representative of several of the NPCs.
That'll be-
Awesome. Okay, back with you guys in the situation room.
We have also sort of a backup, sort of alternative plan, but he'll look to Eric and can I speak with you about that briefly before we discuss it as a group?
Very well, of course. He'll stand and go wherever it is that you're guiding him.
I have no idea. He's just gonna walk through a door because he still doesn't know the castle very well.
Occupied.
It's somehow or another just another version of Paul peeing on a plant.
We need to make sure they don't meet.
Yeah. However this happened, they
It's
don't
like
need
the
to
matter
actually
antimatter.
he probably ends up in a part of the observatory that would seem a bit more like an orrery. Like a much smaller one. This seems like more of a place of contemplation, kind of out to the side. It's this did not empty you back into the hallway from which you came. It is more of a study, but a study of something very specific.
Gotcha. There's been so very much going on. I have not had a chance to ask. You seemed perhaps uncomfortable would be the right word with the lamp that I purchased to be a gift. Is there a reason for that? I want to understand.
The lamp, to my kind, is a symbol of systemic oppression over the course of generations of us.
I see.
Many in my ancestry died to imprisonment throughout their lifespan in those things. I don't like that you can still find them casually just in knick-knack shops.
Sorry,
It's
that was
bothersome.
insensitive of me. Did not realize.
I understand that you weren't aware. It's not something many people ever really think about. It's a
There
very
are
specific regional.
Well, there are stories where I come from, of genies with unimaginable power who, when you rub the lamp, they come and give you 3 wishes, and often there is some element of trickery involved. But I never really assumed that that would be connected to here. But I suppose it seems most stories, most to what would us would have been myth or folktale. Perhaps all of our tales come from here.
I find that most mythologies have morsels of truth to them, and how large that morsel is can shift and change depending on the myth and the region, how far it's traveled. I can tell you that those things do exist. There have been lamps designed to force servitude and wish granting, and in some cases that has created the desire for the imprisoned jinn to find loopholes wherever they could to create consequence for the actions being pushed against them.
If one does not consider that it is truly an imprisonment, then of course there would be no problem with it. But to be involved in I think you used the word the systemic enslavement of a being is. I'm sorry. I wanted to ask, before we bring this up in front of anyone else, we discussed potentially trying to use it as a way to capture O'Shea, to give us time to better prepare to end him. But if that is beyond the pale, I will nix the idea here and now.
He pauses for a moment and looks a little bit more severe than you've seen before. You've certainly seen him be serious and contemplative, but there's a lot of moral heft that he's trying to moral weight that he's trying to heft rather, to figure out if he thinks that this is somehow a justified use of something so grim and grisly to his people. He is careful in his word choice and looks back to you. This may be one of the only situations wherein I could see turning something that was created for such a terrible fate into something better for the world instead of worse. I am uncomfortable with its presence and don't wish for it to be used flippantly. But I think that this is a situation that, if it can be useful, then it should be.
I want to say this was a sort of last-ditch possibility. It is still not my preference, particularly now that I understand better the weight behind that choice. But I think it might be something that would be useful. It would be a way for us to not only to gain time, but to sort of have a better grasp on where he is at all times. In theory, we could take our time as it is. We don't really know if there is a ticking clock, as it were. Obviously, we have acquaintances now who are stuck in this box until such time as we can make them safe, but this would just perhaps be a way that we would be able to take more time in preparation while we know that he cannot grow for himself. That said, doing the right thing is more important. They say the ends justify the means, but I don't think that is true.
I suppose when the ends are life and death, and you don't get the opportunity to live longer if you don't do so, and it could negatively impact others, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Still not ideal, but
No?
I think that in some cases, repurposing something bad for something good, there's some merit there.
I agree. Although I think this may be perhaps one of the first times that we have directly disagreed. I don't think one should sacrifice what is moral, even in the face of death. For death is the next passage, it is the next journey. Next
I would
place
usually
to-
agree with that, but this, and he kind of pulls out the lamp, this object in and of itself is not moral or immoral. It stands for something immoral, for a history that was immoral. But this object does not have the weight of morality inherently. Anything like that was cast upon it.
That's fair. I more meant, obviously more in general, but also, in general, I am against the idea of forcing someone into captivity, even someone who has evaded death. I believe it's wrong in all of its forms, but if it is necessary, you see the moral conundrum there. I do believe it is necessary that we find the ability to stop him, to end him, to send him on to death. And it's hard because that must happen. But if we sacrifice who we are in order to get there, is it worth it? I think it must be because of the consequences. But I don't know if it is for me.
It's an interesting concept given what you do. You see the irony there? Or at least the contradiction.
But it's what she would do. Adeline would do that. She talked the concept of a sin eater, someone who eats the sin so that the world may be cleansed. I don't like it, but I do at least sort of understand it. Perhaps we are in the weeds. I'm sorry. Are you okay if I present that as a last ditch effort?
Yes. These things do usually require attunement by their holder to be able to function.
What does that entail?
Attunement, or it's like for it to function?
Attunement. We are not speaking of being attached to the lamp as the slave to the lamp, as the imprisonment.
No, that is not generally how these things work. I've not examined this one very closely beyond a small ritual on behalf of any that used to reside in it. But they all function under different rules. In general, you've attuned to items before, correct?
Yes, yes.
When the owner attunes, then for lamps like this, any place a djinn has resided, the history of that place becomes clear. That space and all of its previous inhabitants become clear. I assume to all, but at least in Jinkin, I know that that's the case. There are usually things that go along with it, but much like other magic items, you would sit and hold space with it for an hour and focus on it, and it's the story of the thing, the signature from the weave, and wind yourself to it. It does connect you to the lamp, but not in the same way that one imprisoned by it would be. But in order to know more about it, either I would need to have someone who can identify it, or attune to it and find out for myself. I don't believe that it's cursed. I've at least had it looked at in those terms already, so we don't have to worry with that. But
There was the gentleman Asanji, and the tinker. I don't know what to call him. The inventor. The one that is currently in the box. Just for future reference, he apparently has seen these before and would be very interested to take a look at it, provided that that is okay. The idea of looking at something so perhaps personal is the wrong word, but deeply emotionally tied, charged, perhaps. That's not something that I think I could offer.
I think I would have to know him far better than I do currently to make a judgment on whether that would be appropriate, but my instinct says, at least at this particular juncture in our relationship, no. I'll come back to that when it matters.
Certainly. I suppose for now I present this, and then I should probably make sure Paul hasn't burned something down yet.
Where is he?
I don't know. That's that's like 50% of my worry.
You let him wander by himself?
He said he was going to be training.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So I will present this, and then I would go. I guess train with Paul.
All right.
But it's possible that the giant will join us.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Right.
I have to
So
find my stats for.
Perhaps we present this really quickly, and then we go watch.
Yes, please.
I could use the break.
Agreed. Shall we?
Indeed.
He'll go out with you.
Jason has a question on the lamp.
Uh-huh.
Can we check to see if the lamp is
Like
available, like unoccupied? Like, do we know that if there is a djinn inside this lamp? I just thought about that. And I was like, is
Eric,
there
I don't know that anybody else has tried.
And if there is,
surely Eric would know. Like,
well,
Yeah, you guys
don't you
didn't
have to
check. Eric
attune
did.
to it?
I guess you do have to.
Yeah, you have to attune to it to know. So
Yeah, he did not attune to it, but being of Jinn blood, he can actually sense when someone else with Jinn ancestry is close by. So if there's anything in it, it's not a genie. So that
Nice.
much he's at least sure of. Um, and he hasn't thought to check otherwise. So that's a good point. But
Just let Lucifer out of the bag.
Just saying, it'd be a good idea to know, because if we like try to put something in there and then we roll the dice and it's like,
Like just the Kraken appears.
yeah,
out of
it's already
nowhere.
full, so it switches them out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no,
Surprise beholder.
O'Shea was a better choice here. So,
I love that that's a thought that you just had, and I kind of wish I had it sooner. But yeah, like he would have known if there was a genie in it at least, and realistically, because of where Eden found it, George would know. If there was something terrible in that, he would not have put it in his shop. George is a special soul.
that's okay.
So
Because full disclosure, as Jason as a DM, if you guys had not checked that there was already something inside of the lamp and you tried to use it, I would have 100% made it where something was inside of the lamp, and been like something just as bad or worse because another party had this exact same idea of you of trapping it that was too powerful to defeat.
I do love that. And had you found it in the desert, I'd have probably taken that idea and rolled with it, actually. Just like in George's shop, he would not have let something like that slide. So it
That-
makes more sense for it to be empty. But
That is
I do like the way your brain works, and I like the fact that you asked that question because something similar may or may not come up someday that I use that for.
That sounds like an insurance game.
Right? Actually, yes, it does. I should jot that down. It's my next insurance one shot.
so okay. Just
So
curious.
yeah, you're back in the situation room.
All right, I want to present a backup plan to what we are planning. We have the potential to place Crochet, although I guess I don't know the specifics. I maybe should have asked that part. Is it the for sure thing if we use this that it traps him?
So you see Eric look over at you strangely, like, I don't know that yet. There are conditions, but if you follow the conditions, usually it's a reasonable expectation.
Okay.
I don't
As
know
our
the
last, oh, okay. As our last ditch effort, I suppose once we figure out the conditions, we have the potential to trap Crochet to give us time to prepare better. There is some cultural sensitivity to this because it was likely used and things like it were likely used to imprison people. So it is my desire that this should only be used in they say Hail Mary, a last effort. But it is something that we have in the metaphorical back pocket. I don't think it would fit in my back pocket though.
Farron just looks over and looks at her back pocket. I could hold it.
I don't think it has to be in a back pocket though.
Ah, not literal. I see.
So on that note, I need a minute to clear my head. So I'm gonna go find Paul. Fern, would you like to perhaps spar with Paul? He is training currently.
I came here as a trainer. I am happy to help.
I don't know how much training will happen. That takes learning, but it will be fun anyway.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, she'll scooch the chair out from underneath her, and like she dwarfs the chair. It's kind of ridiculous. Like she's definitely more Goliath sized than giant. She's like small giant, slightly large Goliath. And stands. You're not totally sure because it seems like her eyes and her mouth never move simultaneously, but it looks a little bit like she just got a little excited. And she will follow you out. Trying to pull my sheet up for her. Anything for you guys in the situation room? Anything that you want to touch on or cover, or anything like that? Any logistics you want to understand better before you do anything, or are you just gonna go watch the show?
Are we still waiting on the scout to come back?
Mhm.
Yes, they are not back yet.
Then yeah, I'd probably go watch whatever is about to happen.
All
I figure
right.
we've got time for that, and then after that we could figure out whatever buffs we want to try to figure out. Gear
Well,
and
and once
stuff.
we get the scouts back, we'll have a better understanding of like what we might be running into, which will give us an idea about, hey, is stealth the better option here, or do we just need to say, okay, screw it, get Crochet there, all hell's going to break loose anyway, so
Right.
let's just go in guns a-blazing. So
Yeah, and then like if you are doing a stealthy route, or I guess whatever route you want to take, like allocating who you want where for what purposes. Moving your chess pieces into their best position.
I'm not big on dividing the party, but we've got enough help that we might have to split the party.
yeah, and if you guys have to do stealth, as much as it would piss Paul off, you would be better to not have Paul go into hell, right? So
And you guys would know, like as a table, you guys would be aware that there would be other defenses you would have to get through. Like
Yeah.
it's not just gonna be the Demon King that's there. There are gonna be other things you have to deal with. So like there could still be a purpose for Paul, but bringing Paul also does bring with it a certain level of
yes.
Alarm
unpredictability,
bells, noise,
noise, general lack
Death.
of stealth, gas.
and
Many
nudity.
things.
Lingering
And nudity.
And nudity.
All right.
No,
So
I
yeah,
want to watch Fight a Giant, so
I'm almost certainly going to forget some of the things that she can do. I've got it in front of me, but like
Danny,
at
I am fully okay with you just like kind of like explaining what like I don't require rolling dice for this. Like I know the rest. It's not as fun to watch just one person fight one-on-one combat in D&D. So I'm perfectly okay if you want to just kind of, you know, express how this thing plays out.
okay.
I'm assuming she is a much more powerful character than I am too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
But I am gonna we're gonna do a few opposed rolls. I feel like that we can illustrate that in a more fun way and it doesn't take as much time. So yeah, Paul, you're out in the cartyard? Wow. Courtyard. I mean, there can be carts there. And this other fellow has just kind of fallen into step with you because you're making him feel bad about just standing there not doing anything. So from push-ups, whatever you move into next, he'll kind of do alongside as a strange, abnormally tall shadow. And then you see Eden emerging from the doorway, kind of in the back of the hall there, opening out into the courtyard. And Eden is followed by Farron, who you've seen before, but this might be the first time you've actually seen her standing up And she big. She real big.
Sure.
And
Damn,
quite
you're a girl.
Yep. That is an appropriate response from especially a gnome. So yeah, she will introduce herself to you, in case you were not already familiar with her name, and stick out her giant hand that like probably covers half your body, to shake. Like, I am Fern. I was told that you were looking for a sparring partner.
Always looking for a sparring partner.
Most excellent. Is there anything particular skill-wise that you wish to work on?
Just kicking ass and taking names. I don't know what else to do.
Very well.
My name is Eden. You can kick somebody else's ass, though.
Very good to meet you officially, Eden. Uh,
So you're halfway there. You just need to do the kicking ass part.
well, as it is something he requested. How do you wish to begin?
Kick to the shin. Bam.
Yeah, yeah. We can go right now if you're ready.
Very well. She just like gently steps back in a really soft fighting stance to see like she's not sure how to gauge this yet. And she's pretty high level, so she's getting a feel for what's going on. But you specifically said to kick ass, so she does lift up her foot to come at you to kick your ass.
Okay.
Just very literally. Give me for the first like few moves. Just give me a general roll with your. Give me your attack bonus with that.
Okay, just my standard attack bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 24.
Nice. So it's an interesting thing for the spectators to watch this because actually Paul is pretty adept at his kind of fighting. So coming in for the attack, he starts off really solidly, using that butt kick, which does land as almost like a momentum force that he manages to redirect towards her, to come at her to attack. But with her being as big as she is, it did not take very much for her to just. It seems like slow motion. You know it's not, but it seems because she's so big and just moving differently than he is. It seems like in slow motion that as he runs towards her, she puts her hand out and just does this. And he flops over to the side, like almost flies through the air. But it's this volley back and forth on the way down that's actually really impressive on Paul's part. Like, he is fighting well, but everything that she does just kind of scoops him up and redirects his energy elsewhere. And after almost a phrase, like a musical phrase, this fight is playing out. And as the end of this phrase happens, there's like this beat where he looks kind of surprised at her and she looks kind of surprised at him that he's, doing as well as he is. It is very obvious if she wanted to crank up the volume, like she could knock him through a wall really easily, but he would make her earn it. Roll again for me.
Ooh, can I give a bardic inspiration?
Sure, to who?
Oh, that's a good question, I guess.
That's a good point, yeah.
To Paul.
Paul?
With her like kind of like maneuvering around all my attacks, I'm gonna rage on this next go round. So
That is my D8.
And you
Okay,
can
D8.
and I rolled the same number twice. That's a 15.
Nice. Okay. Um, so she sees the anger flare in your eyes, and it's almost like your anger calms her down more. And you see, like, as you like come in swinging, brawling for her, and just really gently, it's like very kung fu, and just wraps your arm up in one hand. She doesn't even have to use the whole arm. She just does this, and like your whole arm is just covered in her hand. And she sort of flips you up into the air and kicks. It's just effectively just like punts you. Uh, as you fly probably about 10 feet the other direction. Um, when you land, you hear this: if you're going to fight angry, you must channel that. Um, before you see, you've probably not seen this before. It's a very rare type of thing here. There are only a handful of people that do it, but you see her move towards you with a punch. Now she's 10 feet away. She does have long reach, but she's not bothering with weapons right now, so it would just be arm reach. You don't know how, but it's almost like she breaks into multiple forms of herself and ends up right in front of you in this weird stutter, like if your frame rate was broken. Uh, and you just have this like, um, but she hits you before the sight of her catches up. It's very odd and disorienting for you. Uh,
Yikes.
it's a good solid hit, all non-lethal, of course.
Sure.
And then pauses. That's a phrase. Go ahead and roll for me again there. Ooh, that was not a great roll. You might stand a
I'm
chance
gonna
of doing
use
some
my bonus dash to try to get that extra speed,
space and
since
speed.
I'm crazy fast. So that's, yeah, I'm gonna use like the bonus action as to, like, to dash to try to like get to her faster to try to kind of flip that back on her.
Nice.
So natural 20.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So
Oh,
where you guys just saw like this weird blur thing happen with her, where it was almost like she was in multiple places at the same time. She does connect with that punch, but then you see after that, like Paul running in, and he's just one blur. There's not a like break in the blur. It's just like this streak of Paul, both literal and figurative when you consider that he's mostly naked. Uh, and he does manage to actually get an amazing hit on her that knocks her backwards, and she's doing that same weird like frame rate broken thing, almost like pulling apart from herself and then back together. Um, it's really interesting to watch. And for the next phrase, if you would like to narrate what that looks like, that nat 20 gives you narration rights, I feel
Sure.
like.
I think just like when she hits me and I go back, like in that moment, and I'm like I look at her, I'm like, oh, you think you're fast? And then I just break into like full blast speed at her, and then coming in straight, and then in the last minute, I just dodge underneath her using my size, and come underneath her defense, and then come up and just like crack right into her knee from the side, and like just an uppercut in
Oof.
extreme speed.
I don't like
You,
that.
yeah. you you see the knee kind of cave to the side, uh, and you do actually hear like this. It's more of a rumble than a grunt, um, but you do hear a surprised rumble. You're not sure. Like for a second, the eye part looks pained, but then the mouth part looks like it smiles just a little. Uh,
I don't like that either.
go ahead and roll again. Oh, that was good. Yeah.
10.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a little confident after that.
Yeah. It needs to be humbled a little bit. Uh, so, with this, you see her. You see an arm just pass by in front of you and knock you to the side, but the same arm somehow manages to scoop you up and grab you before you actually have a chance to go very far. So it's like a slap clothesline. Um, and with that clothesline, there's a little bit of an upward lift that brings your backside kind of like if she's me, like there's this, like you get the slap, the lift, and then like the backside is floating here, and there's this palm where she like travels with you as you go, um, and you feel while she doesn't thoroughly commit to the bit because this is just sparring, um, you feel this force like thunder shake through your bones and then vibrate back into her. And
That sounds awful.
she's a very high level psi fighter. Uh, so her psionic stuff is real cool. Um,
Ugh.
and yeah, with that, you kind of like fall prone for a second.
Like probably like
Yeah, it definitely takes your breath away.
Oh my god! I've never been
And you
hit
could
like that
tell, like,
before.
you could tell she held it back too. Like she let just enough of it out to rattle you a little and then brought it back in. Um so yeah, you got knocked prone. Um I think that's a good place to pause unless you want one more roll out of it. Can see if you can bounce back.
Sure, I guess. Just to see if I can do it. I get up, but I don't get up as fast as I usually get up. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. That would be a 23.
Okay.
I
She
lasted there. I'm like, I can't go
She
out like
actually
that.
rolled the same thing. So this is a fun stalemate moment from everybody else. Like you see him like dust himself off, and I'll let you narrate that one too. So it's a nice tie situation.
So I think what I do is I dust myself off, and I think in this moment, like I kind of take a second and like subconsciously absorb the lesson she said about the rage without realizing I'm actually absorbing it, and take like just go in for the attack, but instead of going full on rage, like do like a sweeping motion. So like when she goes to attack, like I deflect it, similar just from watching how she's doing it, and just roll up her arm. And so in doing so, my attack doesn't really, I kind of lose the power on my attack, but I'm able to deflect her attack at the same time. And so I kind of spin off of her arm and come out on the other side and land back ready to fight. So
Awesome. You both end up kind of in the same position, like looking at each other, and she does like the eyes, nothing, but you see the well learned, and she'll
But Paul just
stand.
sees the bottom of the lip doing that.
yeah. And then as the rage drops, I go to my knees and I throw up. Because that hit was hard.
Oh, are
Those
you
of us that
okay?
are watching from the sidelines as a collective, we're like, Hey, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, you just hear the whoa
Mm.
from the crowd. She pats you on the back with a giant hand, like, "Are you all right? Do you need
Yeah,
healing?"
yeah, yeah. I just need a drink.
Very well. You
Yeah.
did well.
You got to teach me that really weird punch you just did. That was crazy.
I have helped train others before. I am happy to help you. And
Oh,
she'll she'll keep patting his back for a second. It's like Eric is standing next to you guys, and just like, that was magnificent.
yeah. I wipe my
Totally
mouth and I
is.
grab the bottle of the minty stuff and swish it in my mouth and then gargle it and then swallow it.
Like mouthwash.
It feels strangely therapeutic to, like some of the messed up areas is getting in like internal icy hot vibes,
Yeah.
Mm.
which is both
Mm.
uncomfortable but soothing to your current condition all
Yeah.
simultaneously. Like, not anybody's favorite idea of what to drink, but in this particular case, it kind of feels nice because your bone's been rattled a little bit.
Yeah.
Drinking icy hot. Ooh.
And you can tell, like, other people from the Situation Room have also come down to watch this, and like the whole gaggle is just highly entertained by this. So yeah, well done, well done. Survived your fight with Farron. Uh,
Yeah. All got schooled really hard.
Mm.
she's she's effectively a level 19, so she's pretty stout. There's a reason that people found her, like, she is a guard for a god. So uh they found her to train one of their noobs. Uh yep. All right.
I
So
got a few levels to get to that. To go.
What are we at? Like 8?
it's something like that.
I think we're ninth.
Mm.
I don't
Oh yeah,
actually
9.
have a reference there, yeah. Um if you manage to survive hell, I feel like that justifies a level up. So we'll see how that goes. Or at least like Crochet and when you manage to resolve this part, I feel like that probably is gonna deserve a level up. We'll see how you do it.
Either you
Yeah,
die or you get a level up.
I'm not putting money on a survival scenario here.
That's also true. There are a whole lot of in the air things, so we'll find out when you get there. Um, Speaking of, like, and Paul can continue training if he wants to with Fern or just in general. Um, but are there other things that you wish to talk Situation Room wise, as far as like starting the process of figuring out where who needs to be, anything like that?
Well, Paul is going to be asking for lots of questions about like that attack that she does.
Yeah.
I don't imagine he'll be able to learn how to do anything from her in just an afternoon of conversation, but he is intrigued, and so he will be interested in learning about her fighting style.
Yeah, yeah. And she is happy to answer. So like he can give her a barrage of questions and she's very patient, even if they're goofy questions, if there's weirdness or things like that. She's very level, very even the whole time and will happily do that. Um, if that is a conversation that you think would be a fun thing for you to RP, we can do that either like in text or uh, any format like that you wish.
Yeah,
Um, cool, cool, cool. So yeah, they have a conversation regarding that. The rest of you guys, what's the game plan? Are you gonna push to go ahead and start working on the chess situation now? Are you going to pause and work on other preparatory things?
well, I would think we would need to wait until we hear back from like the people that are scouting
Yeah.
before we really make any decisions on chess moves.
Okay.
But we don't expect them to come back until like the next day, right? Like this is going to be, or
It'll be like this evening.
okay,
So like within this time space, there are some other things that can be moving. Eric will have attuned to the lamp by that point, and will tell you guys the information that I gave you. Pretty much, he'll give you the parameters of the lamp, so that you're aware. And well, I guess yeah, because you didn't specifically say that you wanted him to attune to it, but was it pretty heavily implied?
I don't know that Eden would have implied that because he doesn't know, like, is that something that Eric is comfortable with, and they haven't talked about it, so he wouldn't have tried to insinuate that at all. But
would um, would he know? Because isn't it like if you have Jinn ancestry, your ability with this item is improved, correct?
And he probably would know that, like the different saves and stuff like that associated with it. Like he's got more natural defense with that because it sees him as effectively the lamp sees him as a friendly. Like it's if
There's
the
a
holder is a
natural.
djinn, it's less likely to abuse what's within. So
And he would know that. Would he express that to anybody in the party?
I think he probably would have asked Eden, since Eden was the one that came to him with it. I think he probably would have said, like, do you wish for me to attune to this because it is in my heritage? There are some, at least minor advantages usually in that being the case.
only if it is something that you think, unless you'd prefer somebody else did. There's no one who I would trust more. But if it would be too difficult, of course, emotionally or otherwise, then
I think that to be of service in this way, as well as understanding its history more, would actually perhaps be something that I find a strange catharsis in. So if you are comfortable,
then yes, please.
if I discover that it's something that I feel like might be best in the hands of someone else, I can always remove my attachment and allow them to take over.
Only if it's something you would be comfortable with, though.
Thank you. I appreciate the consideration.
Of course.
So yeah, he'll attune to it and he will inform you guys of its abilities so that you are aware.
Mhm. And that
So
it's
Eric will
empty.
tell us that because the thing that would concern me is the binding circle. Because all three of these conditions have to be met. And so no remaining legendary resistances. The creature has to be below 10 hit points. And then the creature is restrained within a binding circle. That's kind of the issue that we're going to run into. We're not going to be able to make a binding circle in the middle of hell when all this stuff's going down. So
Unless we set it up on the way in, and that's our retreat. Because again, this is the last ditch effort, right? So it's like we're running
Right.
back, trying to get away, and then when it's like,
So that would be the thought process with the planning is, do we set this up as okay, if we need to retreat, we'll get to hell, we'll create the binding circle. This is our way out. If Koshay's coming after us, then we can potentially get him in the binding circle. If that's the situation, obviously, best case scenario is we kill him there, right? That's best case scenario. Or is it better if we say, okay, we're going to go to hell, we're going to get the item, screw trying to kill Koshay in hell. Let that be hell's problem for now. Get the item and get out of there. And come back to a home base location where we can have somebody else having already prepared the binding circle in the arena that we want to fight Crochet in. And
I mean,
so then
yeah.
that's where we try to fight Crochet.
Yeah, I think that would be my preference, of course, the latter option. But if we see that there is opportunity and that it might be difficult to recreate such opportunity, perhaps
Yeah.
we leave it open to that being the option we take.
So again, Jason, thinking this out loud, my thought, the best case scenario, like I think what makes the most sense is let us plan that we're going to go to hell and try to get the wand and get out of there without having to actually fight Crochet at this moment. Get all the phylactery, and if we can get away and he doesn't notice us, beautiful. But if he does notice us, at least we can come back where we need to go, and then he's got to fight us on our terrain, so we can prepare the location we want to fight him on to be at our best advantage.
Right.
But do we? So the plan is get the wand and get, like, that's objective one. I get that, the most important objective. But if Crochet is down and he is hurt, do we want to pass up the opportunity?
That is exactly what was in my head for the next thing, with the caveat that if we get to hell and he has already taken a massive amount of damage from fighting the demons, that could be a moment where we say, you know what, opportunities a knocking. Let's just take the chance now, swarm him, get everything we can there, kill him, because if we can get him dead in that location, right, then that will fix that issue. And I imagine that once that dude's gone, if we just try, if we're leaving, like the demons, they'll chase us, right? Like because we're there. But once we get out of there, they're not going to look at us as, oh, hey, we need to, they're not going to try to exact retribution because we went in there and started killing this guy that came in there and was attacking them.
Right.
You
And I think that that's the bargaining chip. Sorry, we were not trying to disturb you. We were after him.
Yeah, right. And so if we're seeing a situation where he's taking a lot of damage from the surrounding environment and the demons that he's fighting, no reason not to go. I mean, obviously the main goal, get the phylactery, right? But if we can get the phylactery and get the phylactery out of there, and some of the parties like, okay, hey, we're the powerful, tanks are like, you guys get it out, and the tanks stay, and we're just going to start putting everything we can into getting Crochet down. I think that makes the most sense. And then worst case scenario is if Crochet gets out of there, he's got to come to us. So we'll already have the binding circle ready to go where we want him. So even if he ends up resting and still coming to get us afterwards, like we've got the binding circle prepared, we can create an environment that is much more difficult for him, and he's gonna have to come get us because we're gonna get all his phylacteries wiped out because we're going to be working on the phylacteries while all this is going down.
If we destroy all the others and we get this wand, would it be worth it to not immediately destroy the wand to lure Crochet to us?
Maybe. Is there a way that we can trap the wand inside of the lamp? So if we then do defeat Crochet, he ends up coming back already trapped by the lamp?
Eric?
That's an interesting question. Okay. Let me roll a couple of dice here. Okay, and let me refer to my wording to make sure.
While Danny's looking that up, another thought process I'm having too is if like, have we talked to anybody who understands the phylacteries enough to know that when he does get destroyed in whatever form he's in now and comes back from a phylactery, does he come back fully powered up, or does he come back in the state he was in, like pretty much completely spent, very little hit points available to him?
Like baby
I don't think
Voldemort.
we know that. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that actually was something that we discussed that we were supposed to ask Asanji while we were in the prison, but I don't think we did.
I mean, we just go back and ask him. So
Um,
we should do that. We should
You-
go ask Asanji.
Sanji, you just thought of another question. We're coming back in.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll fast track you through all of the entry stuff, and you are able to ask that question. And he will tell you. Well, to my understanding of this kind of necromantic magic, I've not seen it personally, but from my understanding of it, they will not be in their worsened state, but in this case, where there are several phylacteries remaining, each is representative of a specific level of capacity for the being's return. So the more phylacteries are destroyed upon return, while it does not necessarily limit their ability if they are still, like in our case right now, removing those phylacteries from the board does not automatically reduce his power. But when that power is reduced, it does impact the amount of power that he is able to regain. So in this case, if there was only one remaining phylactery, while he would not come back, a seared piece of jerky flailing on the floor, he also would not come back at his most powerful. So you would be getting a weakened version, not a weakest version, but a weakened version that would be far easier to deal with than what you would initially have to deal with were you to try to fight him now.
So best case scenario is we want to try to get the phylactery destroyed regardless. So if we can get it where we get it back and get it destroyed, that's great. But if not, then it would be, at least we know he's going to be in a weakened state in the environment we want him in. If he gets killed, here's what my concern is: we've got the phylactery, we're coming back, and the Demon King kills Cochet, and then all of a sudden, out of somebody's pocket, Cochet pops out. Yeah,
I would
just
like-
be nice, nice to know that he's not going to come out with 100% ability.
Yeah.
2, really pissed off that he just got offed by a Demon King.
I would like to posit that we should aim to have the weekend at Bernie's version.
Yeah.
Version.
So,
Every
Yeah.
time you said weekend, that's all I could think of.
Weekend.
Weekend at Bernie's.
At Bernie's.
So my thought process is, I think the best case scenario, again, let's destroy the phylacteries, force his hand to need to go to try to get the last one, because he knows we've got these other ones, right? Like, we've established that already.
Yeah, like he is aware that you were looking, and he is aware that they are not where he left them.
Yeah. So he knows there's only one left that hasn't been removed. So if he starts noticing that, oh, these are being destroyed,
Yeah.
he knows we know where the last one is. So he's not going to have a choice. He can't leave it there.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be a terrible, evil person if your thought process is, well, I'm just not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going to have to go for it. So worst case scenario, so get him to go, have him cause the havoc. We can sneak in, get the phylactery, get it back, get it destroyed. And then at that point, even if we've got it destroyed and he doesn't have a reason to come after us, he doesn't have a means to return. So now we've got a better chance, even if we've got to fight him on his terms. At least we know, like, we'll be better prepared what we're going into. Best case scenario is he doesn't have he has to come after that phylactery. right? So, so he's going to come after us. We get him on our terms, and then we keep him distracted fighting him while the phylactery is being destroyed. And even if the phylactery isn't destroyed, before we get him, if we're able to kill him before then, at least we've got a weakened version of him in the environment we want him in. So we got a better chance of getting him trapped if we can't get him killed the second go round.
Solid thoughts.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you would also find out that there's about a 50-50 shot, and I would make you roll as far as whether you can actually like pull the wand into the thing, because technically it's a creature, but also the phylactery is a fragment of a creature in a way. So like kind of depends on how the lamp decides to interpret that, and we're going to leave that to chance. So it is possible that you could pull that wand into the lamp if you needed to, but it's going to be a 50-50 shot, and I'm gonna make a roll.
50-50 is not bad odds.
No.
It's not bad. No, it's not bad. So it's
And
like,
what happens if we are unsuccessful at pulling the creature into? Well, it's like
I
there's a
don't think
couple
that.
different things that could go wrong, right?
Yeah, although
Oh, one of
Okay,
them,
so-
the lamp explodes. There's
Right.
that.
Because I was thinking it might be. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Lamp has AC 19. That's if destroyed. If the lamp is used on a creature that is not sufficiently weakened, roll a d6. Oh, so
Yeah.
only if it's not sufficiently weakened. So if
Yeah.
if it's sufficiently weakened, then we don't have to worry about the negative effects. It just might work. It might not work.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, we could test it on one of the phylacteries we already have.
That is
And
true.
and just say, okay, is it going to work? Because then the question is, do we want to just say screw it and just go ahead and put the phylactery inside of the lamp? And
just whatever the cost to get the
right, well, because then the benefit is like even if like we have to kill him to get him in the phylactery, he's in the lamp. So even though he technically is coming back, no matter how we don't have to worry about conserving our abilities as much because we're
there-
like, okay, go ahead.
There is a difference between him being in the lamp and him being bound by the lamp.
There's also a consideration here that I will point out, and how much of a consideration, I will let you decide. But items also have HP,
Yeah,
so that's worth considering.
it has to be down to 10 HP.
Yeah, but if we
To put it in
study
the-
the item well enough, we can get a sense of where it's at and put enough damage on it to get it low enough that we could potentially get it in there, right? Because it just needs to be below 10 HP, and then I mean, would we need to bind a phylactery? Because it's not like it's going to break free. It's just an inanimate object.
That part's true. Like, you would still have to bind it because there is sentience to it. It is like effectively made of stolen souls and chunks of what Cochet once was. So like there is a living component that would need to be bound.
But we don't have to worry about any legendary resistances from the phylactery.
Not from the phylactery itself.
Essentially, the reality is we need to put enough damage on it to get it below 10 HP, put it into a binding circle to test whether or not we can get an item in there or not. And then if it doesn't work, no negative thing happens except we're out 500, gold pieces.
Well, I mean, the only thing about that is our plan that we're working on right now is that we are going to wait to destroy the phylacteries that we do have all in one go, so that that way we have a little bit of a surprise on Crochet. If we try to test this out, like we don't know if he would sense that we were damaging the phylactery. Like we know he'll sense if one's destroyed.
Sure. How long does it? But it takes 1 minute to make the binding. Well, the binding circle doesn't matter. We can do that ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it's going to take time to destroy these items, so we can test this while we're doing the first item.
Yeah.
Test it if it works. If it does work, great. If it doesn't work, okay. Our status hasn't changed, and at that point, we're ready to jump into the hells. But we don't want to go to the hells immediately once we start this, right? Because we don't want to pop in because we don't know where Koshé is going to be coming in at. Like, wasn't the plan that we were going to scry into the hells, into that location, and watch to see when shit was going down?
Yeah.
And then at that point, we were going to jump in, and then
I thought we were going to be down there waiting for it to go down.
I don't think there's any benefit to going to.
I think we talked about just watching it because
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
move.
we can,
like,
because they said, like, other than that magic barrier, they can drop us in like right outside the magic barrier.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing, I don't know, this is probably me meta-ing. I don't think Eric has gone into a whole bunch of detail about this, but just something to keep in mind, like if we do catch Koshé, like Eric will have to make a saving throw every day to keep him in there.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
So, but the thing about that is like if it's a case where we're trapping Koshé anyway, like he's going to be in that weakened state. We could still be in a position where it's worth releasing him and attacking him at that moment.
Yeah,
But at least it gives us the option for a full day's rest to fully recharge all our stuff and then pop him out and just go for it.
yeah, but does he get a full day's rest?
Probably,
In there?
I would assume so. Yeah.
I'm
His
just saying
powers
because
would be limited. Like he could regain hit points, but his powers would be limited by the lamp as well.
Mm.
well, just because we've kicked around the idea of putting Koshé in here and then dealing with that later on, but Eric's going to have to make a saving throw every day.
Sure.
Not to keep him
it.
in, but to stay unaffected by it.
Yeah.
It can mess with Eric, but it can't get out unless he wishes it out.
So for that, we could just put him in a position where someone's buffing him on a regular basis, so the likelihood that he's going to be making that is consistent.
I could give him
Right.
guidance.
Yeah, so we just say, hey,
Bardic
look, we know this
Inspiration.
is a lot, and there's the risk to that, but let's buff you every single day to make sure you're fully prepared for whatever you're going to come across in this, to give us the time to prepare that we need to fight. So, and I'm not saying that we should do this plan by testing the phylactery in the lamp. I'm just saying it is an option that does offer some other potential like backup plan scenarios, but it might not be worth it because again, like the results are we're just getting Koshé in there. It might just be better if we can get it destroyed in the first place. I'm still on board with saying let's just get it destroyed and bind Koshé if we can. But this just gives us that backup option where if things are not going where we want them to go in the fight, we can at least get
We've got an exit plan.
someone to say bind the wand in the phylactery, and even if we die fighting him, if we can at least get him down, at least he's bound, and then whoever survives has the time to try to find the people to help get him defeated at a later date.
Makes sense.
Important thing here, Eric has to survive.
Yeah.
Under all circumstances, Eric has to survive.
That would be my preference, regardless. But
Well, yeah, but like if people are going down, like Eric's got to make it. Because even if we don't defeat Koshé, Eric at least has to get out with the lamp that's got the phylactery in it.
correct.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think we should attempt it on one of the items that we already have. When we start destroying them anyway. Because if it's going to draw him, it's going to draw him regardless.
Right.
Have we have we discussed that option?
What?
That instead of going after the wand, he just comes to stop us instead. He realizes, oh hey, one of those just got broken. I'm just gonna go kill them so that they can't break anymore.
Nope, I don't think we've discussed that.
That is a risk, which leads me to
but I
believe
would
that if we are going to test this, we should not do it here. It should be someplace else.
Yeah, I think whatever the location we end up deciding on where we're going to be destroying these phylacteries needs to be the location that we are setting up for the battle. My thought process on that is that if it were me and it were a situation where I knew there was a group of people who were working together to destroy these things that I created, and I knew there was one that they hadn't gotten to that was hidden in a place that I knew about, that I had the ability to hide it, I think that I would rather jump into a location that I have a better understanding of to at least get the one safe that I know of, rather than jumping into a location that is surrounded by a bunch of enemies that who have had time to potentially prepare for my coming. I think that Cochet is probably smart enough to know that his odds are better to get the phylactery out that he knows about than it is to try to stop us from destroying the ones we have. Because his thought process will probably be, if I've got one, I'm safe at least long enough to make more.
To make more. Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I think that we should set up wherever we're going to destroy these things somewhere far away from the city.
Right, yeah.
As a
100%.
just in case that
Yeah,
he's
if
like,
he
well,
is
I'll
if he is confident that he could just destroy us regardless, then why would he not do that?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I think that's a good point, but I think the odds are better for us that we're not going to. I think the likelihood is that he's probably going to be going to the Hells.
I
I
agree.
think that's the higher likelihood. So, but even if he doesn't, if he comes to fight us, if we've prepared for the environment and put the situation in place, even if we don't trap him, but we've got enough going on that we've prepared to destroy him, he's going to pop up in the Hells anyway. So all his phylacteries are used up at that point.
I forget. Did we decide that they are like one-time use? I don't remember.
the phylactery.
Yeah, I thought that's how it if he gets killed, he respawns at whatever the closest phylactery is to him at that time, right?
But is the phylactery then used? Is it gone? Or is it still potentially effective?
Oh, I see what you're
Like,
saying.
oh, I used my phylactery, but I'm gonna just stick it back under this pile and I'm gonna keep walking out.
Well, the phylacteries are powered by the tormented souls of those that he took the souls from. So as long as the phylactery is not destroyed, then it's not necessarily one-time use. They're still effectively batteries for that portion of the soul.
Right.
So he could use that. He could come back from a phylactery and it still be effective. It'd still be a good phylactery for him in case he gets killed again.
Phylactery, correct.
Oh man. So putting that phylactery in the lamp sounds a heck of a lot better now than before.
Yeah, as a last ditch effort, I think. Yeah, I agree. And I think we should try it as we are destroying the other ones. I think we just not the wand necessarily, but like whatever one is convenient, we've tried to put it in.
Yeah, test it on those, and then if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I mean, we're no worse off.
Mhm.
But
It's
at that
fair.
point, regardless, we have to get that wand. That wand has to be destroyed. Like we have to get the wand and destroy it, or trap it.
It's a reasonable expectation. I think it's a solid plan.
Yeah,
Good
I agree.
idea. Thanks.
Has anybody seen Paul?
He's
Since I-
vanished. Sorry, I
in
forgot
this
that this would be more.
conversation.
Yeah, this is stuff that you guys get to talk with other people about. Paul is not helpful in this. But I do really, really love that I have a voice for everybody else that has good ideas, so I don't have to.
This is like one of my favorite things about D&D is
Plotting.
like, and having conversations about ridiculous
Like-
like scenario, trying to come up with like, things that make sense, like it's a scientific endeavor about magical
love it.
items and yeah. I don't know,
I
it's fun.
love it. It makes me happy. And I am legitimately quite glad that, if you're going to be playing a character that's too stupid to do this, it's a great time to be in a campaign where the DM has allowed far too many roving NPCs to have large, moments of plot. That way you can just take over their mouths for a while. That makes me happy. Uh, I'm glad I could give you an opportunity to still do all of that, and it doesn't have to be metagaming.
I'm not going to pretend like it hasn't been difficult in moments where there aren't other people that are in the area to talk, because I've never played a dumb character before, and my favorite part about playing D&D is coming up with all this interesting plots and like plans and stuff like that. So there have been plenty of games where I've been doing this number, like, tell people.
Oh my goodness.
Will you ever play a dumb character again?
Probably not for a while. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but probably
Yeah.
not for a while.
Like when you shoot yourself out of a cannon.
That is fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That
that's
was a
good.
pretty great moment. I'm not gonna lie. Naked
Right, so
trebuchet Paul was
anybody
great.
got any other thoughts on how? I think we got a pretty good plan.
Other than
overall.
gathering,
Yeah.
like weaponry, gathering, like traps for whatever area we intend to
Yeah.
set up.
Figuring out the location that we want to
Yeah.
do this in.
Well, and then there's a lot of moving parts. So I think when we get the information from the scout, like we need to assign jobs.
Yeah.
Like this is your role, this is your role.
Yeah.
Because
Who
there's a lot that's about to go down.
among all the people that are helping us would have an idea about a location that would be an effective location to have this fight? Does anybody have like a spot they're like, oh, I know a spot that would be perfect that we could prepare for?
Several of them are fairly well traveled. I would say probably Ren might be the most likely to be like, oh, I know just the shady spot. Uh, like he has had to hide out in random places and things like that quite a bit in his existence. So, like, Billy could set you up with an isolated bubble. But high power magic inside of high power magic is a little bit more like dicey.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, a lot. But Ren has a lot of the practical locations in his brain. There are a couple that he would probably throw out there to you guys. One of them is the effectively ruins of an old town that was effectively entirely mimics, that has since been dispatched. Like the whole city was mimics. City is a strong word. It was a little town, like a few houses and stuff that they were mimics that had effectively just eaten a lot of travelers who thought that they were, going to be hanging out in abandoned houses. So there's that kind of ruined area. There are parts of the Painted Wastes, but that also creates a little bit more of a disadvantage, I feel like. for you guys in that like fighting in the sand's hard. Like environmental issues are there. You're going to be a little slower, probably a little bit less less comfortable. But that is a possibility. It is. There's not just loads of stuff that he's gonna mess up while he's there. As long as you stay pretty clear of Graham. Um,
Eden has a really bad idea.
what's Eden's really bad idea?
So while we were speaking with some of the people who resemble our host, and he'll sort of gesture over to Estiel. There was mention of a place where magic is often wild and unpredictable. Perhaps that could be to our advantage when we are dealing with a particularly strong magic user.
Not a terrible idea.
Like the Black Mountains?
He was specific, like the singular, not the singularity,
Oh.
because it got brought up that there was the other like tribe, as it were.
Gotcha.
I don't know that we want to add any more like complexity,
Mhm.
especially not if it's going to cut both ways, because that sounds like something that's going to cut both ways. It will hamstring him, yes, but it will also hamstring us.
Yeah. What about is anybody in the group have knowledge of Koshay's like actual abilities, like the kind of things that he has, access to?
Koshay's what?
Abilities, like what kind of like
Abilities.
spells he
Okay.
might have access to. I mean, obviously, like, you know, we can assume like he's pretty adept at necromantic magic, but does anybody in the party have any firsthand knowledge or secondhand knowledge of some of his like strengths and the things that we could potentially be going up against?
He can fly.
Yeah, he can fly. You guys know that much. Let me roll and see if Scylla, because she has. Oh, that was actually pretty reasonably high roll. Let me pull him up real quick.
So would like an underground location can't fly away if we're underground.
Ren would know of some cave systems that used to be used fairly frequently by some hired hands that would occasionally commit some crimes and stuff, and have not been super frequented since, to his knowledge. So there would
Okay.
be some caves that might be usable.
And that would
Uh,
negate at least his ability to fly effectively.
Or at least to be able to fly out of reach. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Scylla would know that this is actually like he's fairly dang charismatic, and has a lot of capabilities to charm and possess. It is
Like this.
not unusual for him to manipulate people into effectively being his sacrifices, and if not his sacrifices, then working for him under his command.
Okay. So we
Um,
need to prepare for some kind of protection against charming and possession.
Some of that is my wheelhouse.
Right. And we could potentially stock up on a couple potions that potentially have that ability. basically just before the fight, have everybody so pound some pre-workout.
Yeah.
Uh,
Straight pre-workout powder.
yeah.
Yep, just snort it.
Yeah. And then obviously his wheelhouse is magic. Do we have the ability to maybe create the space to have some like anti-magic like properties in the space? Like, does any of the people in the party have like the ability to cast these kind of spells? Even would be even better if we could potentially create some like magic traps with this that do this.
Like anti-magic bubble traps,
Yeah,
effectively.
right. You know,
Paul thinks, or well, Jason thinks so much like Steven, unfortunately.
Yep. There are anti-magic traps in canon in this world. Isanji has one of them. Most of the rest of them have been broken at this point in time. And he's not really needed to build super many more. So there is effectively a cone of anti-magic available in trap format for anybody willing to go to Asanji's place and deal with trying to get that out of his workshop. So
something worth considering, or at least bringing some people who have that spell on hand to potentially just be prepared to cast it. I mean, my expectation is Koshé is going to have legendary actions and resistances, but I mean, honestly, we need to get him to use those up anyway. So,
That's true.
that is fair.
I just feel bad because in the past of this world, I did a lot of that to Danny. And so she had to then like, okay, well, the world has to adapt to like deal with your anti-magic nonsense.
There is now anti-magic. Anti-magic. There we go. Doesn't happen frequently, but there are some anti-magic workarounds that I had to develop because I gave him too many opportunities to use anti-magic.
It's the nullification crisis.
It was the nullification crisis of the magic of Delirium's domain. I
Yeah.
nullify the right for you to nullify my magic.
It's like
I know your name.
nay or nay, reverse Uno.
Yeah.
So I guess it sounds to me like prepping in a cave, getting everything that we need into that cave ready to go, and then essentially spending some time putting in whatever traps we want to set up. It might be a good idea to like put a couple like I don't know, like health potions like hidden around the area for folks. Just like, hey, we're just gonna store health potions all over this place. And that way, like when the fight is happening, we're in a position where we can, prepare ourselves in the most effective way.
As long as those are only accessible by us.
Well, we would be the ones who know where they are, right? So like we would, that would be kind of the ultimate plan. So,
Makes sense.
but yeah, and then any traps we want to set up would be helpful. Anything that, potions and stuff and buffs to protect against charms and possession. And then we negate his ability to fly. And so that's where we would set up the location that we would destroy the phylacteries and then go through the plan. And then if we got to flee, that's the place we flee. And that's the best spot for us to mount our defense against Koshé.
Awesome.
Well, and to that point, Tefan, how long will this next piece take between you and the Sanji? Creating the devices to destroy the...
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to speak with him about that to know for sure exactly how long it's going to take.
You guys had actually talked about that in the last session. And what was decided was pretty much like after he spent a few more hours working on the bits that he needed to finish, it would probably be like, I think I probably undershot it pretty significantly. So like all of the parts are put together except these two built into the assembly. So you could probably say like half a day you would be able to do that and make sure that it is working well with Asanji.
Half a day is probably enough time to collect supplies if we have everybody go do a couple things and then get the place prepped for the fight.
Would make sense.
So yeah, then I would relay that information.
Do we want to just start that now? I feel like
Yeah, I would say we need to start. We need to split people up. Some people need to go collect all the potions, every health potion they can get their hands on, and potions against charm person and other types of attacks that will add some bonuses to us. And so whoever in the group or whatever couple people in the group have access to or know where they can gather that stuff up. Um, I would say they need to go do that. I would say another group of people who have the ability to either create, build, or know where they can purchase some traps, they need to go do that and then meet to go to the location. And then anybody who's got the ability to like set magical traps, those people need to get sent to the cave to go ahead and start preparing the cave along with a couple other people who can like start like, scouting the locations where we want to hide, health potions or something for people. So that way we're prepared for that.
so.
All
Do we
right.
want to pull the trigger on this tonight, or we plan on this for tomorrow?
I would say let's start working on putting this stuff together, get it prepared, get the information back from the scouts to have as much detail as we can, get that planned out overnight, get a full rest, take our buffs, and then and then start destroying the phylacteries. That'll give Tevin enough time to work to get it built and prepared, and then get a full rest, and then we pull the trigger on it the next day after everybody's been fully rested and has had the chance to take the potions and the buffs they need to take in preparation. And again, not as Paul saying this, but Paul needs to be given a potion to protect against charm, because that is not somebody you want to have controlled by another entity.
Again,
And I feel like your party would probably know that. Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, don't let this crazy gnome that can just hey bada us to outer
Yeah.
space.
Well, to be fair, the giant woman is probably the person we want to make sure is
With the two of
definitely
them,
not.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like Paul's not someone we want being charmed either. So yeah, so I would say that's how we probably want to split folks up.
Okay. So let me find some stuff here. Potion.
And are we all on board with the cave as being the location? I just feel like with
Yeah,
the fact that it'll be against the
sounds
flying, it makes the most
sounds
sense.
good to me.
That's a logical thing. Okay, let me pull this over here. I need to be able to keep track of what it is I am giving you so that I can know how bad I have screwed up later. Okay, so I will allow someone to have an anti-magic field. I am going to check and see, since it is a trap instead of a spell like being cast by someone. I am going to probably reduce the area. But that will be one thing. So your scout does return. That evening, I'm just kind of fast tracking this so that you guys can get closer to the actual encounter to start playing this out, which we probably won't get to tonight since it's already midnight your time, but then we'll be better set for the next time. So your scout which you guys have not seen one of these before. They're pretty cool. A spider crawls in from a crack in the wall. Tiny black, really ink jet black spider crawls in, but it moves weird. It starts off really, really small and it starts to grow. And as it grows, you realize that its configuration is also shifting. And it lifts off of the wall and begins to fly. This is one of the pixies from the under, the darklings. They are a very specific kind of pixie, and while most of the pixies that you will meet have the option of bigifying, these guys have the option of smallifying and becoming these weird little spider-like critters. So this particular inkling informs Belle, your other pixie companion in this this space, that it has effectively established the layout of the surroundings. You can pass through the magical barrier if you're not teleporting. Up to the gates, they are heavily guarded by very large, very buff-looking demons. He has effectively gotten the lay of the land through the castle, which I can at least give you. I'll let you imagine a lot of it, but I'll at least like give you the basics in just a quick sketch or something like that, so that you know roughly what you're looking at. There is both a magical force field and guards outside of the treasury in this castle. It is behind the throne room. There are and I'll give you a better picture of what this looks like. There are passages to either side of the throne room that lead to other spaces. They do not lead directly to the treasury. The only official entrance to the treasury is from the passage behind the throne room. Like immediately behind the actual area where the throne is. That is a very large space. You do have to pass through a significant amount of castle to get there. So you've got the magical barrier that prevents teleportation. You've got the physical barrier of the guards there. You have guards stationed at each wing. Just as backup, you've got guards in the throne room. Then you've got a magical barrier, a physical, big safe lock system there, as well as guards. So that is what you're looking at there. There is also a little bit of an aura of madness to the space as you get closer to that first anti-teleportation barrier. They said that it did not feel like a particularly strong one. I.e., the DC not super high. But that is what you can expect out of the defenses there. There are a lot of roaming demons and things like that outside that space. And they did witness... Where's the name? They did witness Bellis leaving that space. So one of the other demons left that space, not looking the most happy. So apparently at least two of them are in communication. Did not look like friendly communication, but they also weren't attacking each other. So those are things that you know from the scout. More stuff that you collect. Let's see, you've got an anti-magic field. Potions.
Question. Does Tevin's work require is there an element of maybe like chance or potential skill failings that would mean that Eden would be better served making sure that Stefan's work is successful?
Was that for me or for Danny?
Oh,
Either
that's
or.
probably more of a you thing. You know your skill sets better than I do.
What would I mean?
Basically, I'm just Eden would probably, if there is any doubt in Teffin's mind that the creation of the phylactery destroying contraption, like if you needed help, he would provide that in magical assistance.
Uh, I'm assuming it would be tinkering, um, tinkering sort of role. I've got a stupid high ability to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if
I
you're
mean, there's
confident,
there's
then he
always a
won't do it. But
possibility of not making the roll, but um, my bonus for that is quite high.
I guess, does Teffin seem confident?
No, yes,
Is
yeah, he's
okay.
definitely exuding confidence.
Okay, then Eden won't worry about it.
Okay. I am rolling for you guys some potions. We've got a potion of giant strength, a potion of resistance. Let's see, 1, 2. A potion of growth. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. Potion of invisibility. And one of you guys roll me a d8.
That's a
4.
never
4.
mind.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that you were rolling.
Nope, that's okay. Go ahead.
So that is 4 potions, like general potions of healing. Uh, and somebody roll me a d4.
Two.
2 potions of greater healing. Okay. So that is going to be your potions. And I'm actually going to make those 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually that works out. Never mind. Let's see. What else do I have here? Items. Where are we? There we go. Let's go with a couple of rare things. So you're wanting some traps as well, right?
Yeah. And I'm not opposed to just even if we couldn't find anything but bear traps, I'll layer bear traps wherever the crochet might be
Oh,
standing on.
you can definitely find some hunter's traps like that. Like you can have like 4 of those. There's a trapper that comes in and out fairly often. So, like, you can find 4 bear adjacent traps, similar size. So from a practical standpoint, you've got those.
Are bolo an option?
Are those
Bola?
the like the
Yeah, like the 2 ball or two forked balls on a stick. Or
Yeah,
on
you
a
can probably
rope,
find some
rather.
of those. Yeah. Is that something you would want specifically?
I think it is something that Eden would think of, maybe. Not necessarily something he'd be good at using, but
If he thought of it, like we'll add that to the pool there. Belows. Esteel would be good at it. There are some other deck space people that would be like, Esteel would be good at it, but he's also probably not going to be with you because he keeps the twins alive. So, we'll say you've got 2 bolos. Like, he might be present, but he'll probably be to the side and not actually go through the.
he's not a direct combatant.
Yeah, he's not gonna be. He's not gonna be right in the middle of it. Let's see here. What is that? That looks interesting. Huh. That doesn't really. None of you guys use meta magic, right?
Nope,
Nope.
that's
Yeah,
a
that's what.
sorcerer thing.
Okay. And if there's anything specific that's not a crazy ask that you're thinking of while I'm finding some of this,
A nuclear warhead.
no, that's going to be a pass.
No, we'd end up blowing ourselves up with it.
There's a feather token.
A bazooka.
Actually, there was a thing for explosives here. I want to look at that just to see what it is. Explosives. What do we have?
Last ditch effort, just strap a bunch of explosives to Paul and just
Send him in.
just,
We'll miss you,
Isn't that
Paul.
Give Paul the good game, buddy.
They do have dynamite. That's awesome. There are stats for the dynamite. And I mean, you are in an underground space between the creatures that they use to carve this out, and perhaps some explosives. Like, not gonna say it's impossible. Let's see.
That would be more Paul's alley.
That's true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 4.
oh crap. You know what I just thought about, Danny?
What's that?
We're gonna put Paul in a cave to fight.
Ooh,
With explosives.
potentially. Intriguing.
I mean, Paul doesn't know that this is the plan, so, but
Yeah.
If Paul were up here, would he be like, I don't think it's a good idea, guys?
I mean, no, because Paul wouldn't be paying attention to all the planning part.
Mm.
Interesting. Well, that'll be fascinating. Let's send you to the trenches, why don't we? Ooh. Okay. Jason.
Yep.
Roll me. Is that a 6? Roll me a d8, re-roll it if it's a 1.
Four.
Okay. So you get a grenade. Or,
Grenade.
Not necessarily for you, but because this is going to impact you, my brain just decided I should make you roll it. I don't imagine any of the rest of you want to have it in hand, but yeah, there is a grenade. You might be one of the only ones who knows how to use it.
I mean, I suspect Teffin could figure it out. But he also doesn't want to carry it.
Is it a rounded grenade or is it a stick grenade?
It's
This
one
is
of
a
the German ones with the
fragmentation
big
grenade.
blob of
Yeah, is it
adhesive.
basically an Allied grenade or a German grenade?
It's a frag. Those are round, right?
A frag grenade? Yeah, that's a round one.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
pineapples.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, so it's a frag grenade.
I guess it depends on what era, because
Well,
originally it
that's
was designed to be a baseball. Like that was its build. It was built as a baseball or a cricket ball because the Brits and Americans were used to throwing baseballs and
That makes sense.
throwing cricket balls. So they designed the grenade to be specifically that way.
That makes sense. I just learned an interesting new thing too. Thank you, Jason.
So, and Germans don't play baseball or cricket, so they made their grenades basically a hammer on the end of a stick.
Oh no.
Because
It's like
they
a
are efficient.
throwing hammer or throwing axe.
That's why.
Steven,
Mhm.
this isn't necessarily for you because I know what this means for you, but I just I created a little wheelie magig and I just dropped my finger on it. You know what I got? Bag of beans.
No.
My favorite magic item in the world.
No. Veto. It's your game, but I veto it. No.
I already put it down. This is a terrible
Uh.
idea.
Pyramid. Pyramid.
So
He created so many mummies
Yeah.
in one
So,
of our
like-
campaigns.
it's a bag of beans. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk, and you can take the beans out and plant them, and things happen. There's a list of the random things that can happen, and you roll on the list. And this Joker here, what was it? 3 times, I think,
Three.
in
Yeah,
real
it's
close
like
succession. 3 times, dropped it, and got a freaking pyramid.
Well, I think only 2 times in close, and then one that was like a distant one. But yeah, like a
3
5%
times.
chance.
Have any of
And-
you guys heard of the podcast Dungeons and Daddies?
Yeah, I haven't been a regular on it, but I've listened
There
to
is
those.
they get a bag of beans, and one of the players dumps the whole bag of beans on the ground.
Oh no. I might take that one back just because it is so incredibly problematic, but I'll think about it.
And it makes a difference. I won't use it.
Paul will happily use it.
Like a full blown pyramid? Like
A
Yep.
full-blown pyramid with a mummy,
With a mummy
lord
lord.
inside it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oops.
3 times.
Well, you guys just got really super lucky. I just rolled a chime of opening. You have to get it to where it needs to go, but that was
we're gonna
fortuitous.
need to open something.
The
Potentially.
vault. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a vault. Huh. Okay, and this is probably going to be the last like item. Weird. I've never seen this one before, but it's cool. Crown of whirling comets.
Okay. Danny, I got a question for you on the anti-magic field.
Mm-hmm.
So I know with the anti-magic field, the spell, you basically, it creates an orb that has a 10-foot radius of anti-magic.
Mm-hmm.
And you cast it on a location, and that's where the anti-magic is. for the trap that you have, is it a cone or is it a sphere around an item?
I think for a trap, it's going to make the most sense to do it as a sphere as well.
Okay. How is that like? How is the trap design? Is it like you set it in a location and it stays in that location, or is it an item that you can move, like with that anti-magic field, and it just follows where that item is moving?
With the nature of what you guys are talking about doing, I think it's going to need to be mobile anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, well, I guess if it works like one of the magic discs, then it would be an AoE that doesn't actually move once it's put out there. Okay. Evens, you get a mobile thing. Odds, you get a disc. That is cocked. I do not know. Let's try that again. That is evens, so you get mobile.
So it's mobile?
Yeah, it is an object trap that can be moved once engaged.
Okay, that would be a good item to just strap to Paul, because Paul don't use magic. So, and Paul has to get in close.
I am going to reduce that just a little bit to a 15-foot diameter instead of a 10-foot radius.
Okay.
Just to make it a little less crazy. Which, I mean, you're in a cave anyway, so. But yeah, we're gonna shrink that down by 5 feet just to give us a little bit of a little bit more feasibility there. 15-foot diameter.
The time on like the spell is an hour. Is that the timing you want on the trap, and you want to lower the time frame on the trap too?
We're gonna lower the time frame on the trap. An hour is a long time for that to be functional. I think for something mobile, especially, we should probably knock that back pretty significantly. Let's say, which if you're still having a fight at this point in time, it would probably be, you'd be in a lot of trouble if you're still having to deal with this after 20 minutes. So I think that's going to have a 20-minute limit.
Sure.
Okay. So those were things that you needed. Are there other things that you are gathering that I need to consider?
Is there I don't know what this cave system is used for, but is there a lighting system or is there some kind of lighting system we need to like I can see just fine, but I don't think not everybody else has dark vision.
That is true. So there is not currently any like sophisticated light system. Probably most people that have used this, like, it looks like an outlaw cave. So them wanting to have permanent signs that they have been here, probably a little bit dicey for them. So yeah, that is not a thing that they currently have set up. Is that something that you would like to set up?
I mean, I don't know how many of y'all have dark vision or
I don't.
Okay.
I've got something built into my armor that
Yeah, I think I
replicates
have
the
dark vision.
goggles of the night vision
Well, but
goggles,
even then, if we're
basically.
gonna have a full-on fight, like people need to be able to see well. So, it doesn't have to be anything like sophisticated. If we just want to gather up like a bunch of wood and stuff to make, what is this? You put them on the wall, sconces,
Sure.
the fire ones.
There are also a lot of mages that can put light on objects and effectively have a bunch of like magic light bulbs if you need.
Or
So that's a possibility as well. And we can read that as if that is what you would like to do. I can just write that down as something that you have prepared in that space for when it shows up, for when you guys end up there. Assuming you end up needing to end up there instead of.
I mean, don't you guys think? Because they're going to have, I assume they're going to have light to see what they're doing to destroy the phylacteries. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So there's that. Anything else that you guys can think of before you start destroying phylacteries and stuff that you want to examine, collect, prepare?
I mean, nothing that I can think of collecting. We've pretty much collected all the items and stuff that would make sense. We just need to go establish and set up traps. And then whoever's setting up those traps needs to like keep like basically give a map out of the area so they can then give everybody who's going to be in that fighting arena, say, hey, this is the areas you need to be aware of where traps are going to be located.
Don't step on
And
the bear trap.
Yeah, and
Yes.
these are the areas that you need to be aware of that are going to have like some potions tucked away. And I would say like the best thing is to have because we've got what 6 healing potions in total. Well, I guess how many people are going to be in this fight is another question we have to ask.
And
yeah, we're going to divide everybody too.
yeah, some of the old guard also have some things of their own. So like healing potions, things like that. Like those healing potions are things that like for the not old guard, the like you guys, the crew that includes Ziffel, like that little small group, and Scylla, and Eric would be the ones benefiting from most of this stuff that we just threw at you, because all of
Okay,
the
so this isn't like the division between all of the groups of people that are involved in this. This is just
yeah,
all
this is the old guard has probably access to better stuff than this within their own collection of stuff anyway.
Sure.
So this is stuff that they would probably be pushing towards you guys anyway,
Okay.
to make sure that you're covered, because their baseline is going to sit higher than yours.
Sure.
So having the stuff buffs makes more sense for you guys, so that you can walk away from the fight a little safer. Not to say that they don't have their own stuff, but like they don't need this stuff as badly as you guys might.
Sure.
So, it is divided between the other people of more similar levels to you. So, yeah, like the Arden, not Trix, Tix, Ziffel, and Scylla would be in that same space. Eric would be in that same space.
Okay.
So,
Who wants the crown? Because this is a pretty impressive item.
What does it do?
It is a silver tiara that has 6 charges that allow you to do 3 different spells. One is Starflight, and as a bonus action, you can spend a charge and gain the power of flight for 10 minutes. And your flying speed is equal to your walking speed. You can hover while flying. You glow faintly with starlight. The Starlight Strike is you spend any number of charges to launch bolts of frigid starlight. The number of bolts equal to the number of charges spent. The bolts can be directed to a target or several targets as long as they are within 120 feet and you can see them. They automatically strike their targets for 2d4 cold damage. So you don't miss, you hit for these. And then Whirling Hail is 3 charges, and it's basically the Ice Storm spell with a spell save DC of 16. This is a pretty impressive item.
So I feel like, and feel free to check me on this otherwise, but I feel like the flight makes the most sense for Paul.
Yeah, but Paul's not going to be able to. Paul's just not going to use this item effectively. He's not a magic user.
Granted, but if it comes to if he flies and is sitting at the roof and Paul can't reach him,
Well, I thought about that, and part of the thing is with us being in the cave will help negate a lot of that flight issue. The second thing is if we my thought is we strap that anti-magic field to Paul's chest. And so, because Paul's going to get in close, like he can't do anything unless he's in close. And so, if Paul is in close to this guy with an anti magic field that's just basically doing this right in front of him, like,
I mean, yeah, but if he flies up in the air and he's higher than 15 feet,
I mean, that's how tall is the cave system? How tall does the cave system go up?
It gets up to, like, in its biggest area, I'd say it's probably got about a 35-foot height, but that is, like, kind of one of the back caverns.
Sure.
And so, like, getting to it is probably, like, there are some spots that are reasonably tight, but, like, most of it's about 10 feet.
So
The big
I mean,
cavern where I imagine you guys are going to be setting up if you want to bottleneck it so that he has to work to get past you. That
Sure.
space would be like about a 30-foot ceiling, and then you've got like the taper off to get back out.
does anybody have the ability to cast fly?
Yes. Some of your upper level mages do.
Is that a concentration spell that they would need to hold concentration on?
Gotta double check. I think so. I think fly is concentration. Where are my spells?
New spell book, who dis?
Yes.
Or
That
if
is.
there's a potion of flying.
Is that wizard?
Yes, that's going to be a wizard, I think.
I mean, you would have to attune to it, but I could give you my cloak.
Oh, you fly with the cloak?
I only fly with the cloak. If I don't have the cloak, I can't fly.
but that
Would you
would
like
work if you have the
crown?
anti-magic field.
Because then you can fly with the crown.
Well, but the only thing I was about to say is that my flight speed is only 20
Yeah,
feet,
but
so
that's
it's not
okay.
very fast.
Yeah, but that's okay. The problem for Paul is just that if he flies out of my range, but 20 feet will cover the distance I need at any point at any space in the cavern.
Well, like Teffin can't fly either, can you?
Nope.
So
So, well, I'm just saying for giving Paul the ability to fly.
To fly.
You
You're
could
not going to
take
be
Paul.
able to, because you're going to be in the middle of an anti-magic field.
there's also that.
It's a
It's spherical all the way around you.
That's right. Yeah.
You are going to be smack dab in the middle of an anti-magic field. There is no way Paul is going to be able to fly.
That's
So,
a good
okay.
catch. I kind of forgot that. That would definitely make his life a little harder as far as being able to fly. There are of your casters, while they might prepare other things, Billy and Cassia both have the ability to cast fly. Belle can cast it effectively at will, without material components, because she's Tinkerbell. So
That's what she does.
Yeah. So I would say then, I would say giving the crown to a magic user makes more sense, especially if Paul's going to basically try to be an anti-magic Paul.
if he's going to be an anti-magic Paul, like you could give it to Scylla, or anybody, like I don't know if that would be something that Teffin would find useful, or like either of you two, well, any of you guys really.
Well, the issue Tefin, is you're not going to be trying to get in close to.
Oh
No.
yeah,
Koshea.
you're not close.
I'm not going to be in close because I've got the ranged weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
And I am trying to get in close, but I can already fly.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think it makes sense for Paul to just stick with the anti-magic because I think that's going to be the most effective. If Paul can get to Koshea and keep on him, and with my speed, I think I've got a good chance of doing that. Having this anti-magic field is going to make Koshea have a lot of problems. And Paul's
Yeah.
not an easy guy to get off of you.
And if you can stay in his space the whole time.
Plus, with my because the biggest issue with being in the space of somebody is like when you're dashing in and out is you get opportunity attacks. But with my eagle totem, all opportunity attacks against me are a disadvantage already. So Paul's whole build is designed to be right up in your face, or I guess technically at your knees, right up in your knees, constantly hounding and causing you problems. So, like as much as like I agree that having the ability to fly against an opponent that has the ability to fly is useful, I think having the ability to have Paul right in this guy's face with this anti-magic field is way better because then he's not flying either. Because he flies through magic, right? It's not like wings that he's flying on, right? It's magic that he's flying with.
Did Paul lose the
Immovable rod?
Yeah.
No, I've still got the immovable rod. Which
I
I've also
feel
thought
the
of
thought.
there.
Eden flies without magic. He flies with wings. I can get you to him if you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Paul up and just huck him at him with the rod.
Well, and I forget. Has Eden done his plant growth trick yet? Oh yeah, he did it to the thief group.
Yep.
So-
I would like to prepare that as well, but that could be something that would give extra handholds for Paul.
Nice. Good. Okay, so you are prepping your vine growth thing.
Mhm.
Remind me how that works because it's been a hot minute.
So he's basically putting seeds in a little well in his dagger, and so then he stabs the dagger in and casts plant growth on the seeds that then instantly sprout.
Okay.
God, what would be amazing if pin him with the rod, get him with the plant growth, and then Paul shoves a grenade inside of him.
Wow. That's a hell of a time, man. I mean, maybe you guys, depending on how things roll, you might have, if you can get him here.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, if you can get him here, he might be having a real rough day.
Well, that's the reason why I think getting him to come to us is what we want to do, because if we can set the tone of the battle, like we can put him on the back foot from the get-go, and plus the fact that we're going to have a lot more people attacking, just the action economy of that many people coming at you is going to make this a very difficult fight for Koshea. We're going to have a difficult fight no matter what, but the more difficult we can make it on him, the better it is. So
Makes sense.
Well, there's also no saying that he doesn't bring his own backup, but
right. So, but if he brings backup, more than likely that backup's going to be undead of some case, and that undead is going to be managed by magic. So anti-magic field would be beneficial there.
Yeah, like some of you guys are still going to have to deal with it, but at least like the people right up against him aren't going to have to deal with the undead. It'll be more about picking everybody else off.
Right. So if your tanks are able to keep close in and put a lot of damage on this guy, he's going to be spending all his time just trying to get away and using all his resistances and his actions and stuff to just get out of the fray, which frees up the people from the distance who can snipe in, and you don't have to worry about him focusing massive attacks, on, you know, larger parts of the party because
Right,
he's using
right.
everything to try to keep from getting, pummeled. So,
Nice. Anything else that you guys want to prep? Eric will go ahead and lay out like 2 different circles in silver just in case.
okay.
One near the castle and then one in this space.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no, I think just prepping the traps and putting, let's prep the traps. And since the potions are stuff that we just need to, like, we can just keep on us because the other parties have their own ways of healing. I would just say split that among us. So,
Yeah.
who's got the lowest HP?
Probably me. 80.
Okay.
I'm at 75.
All right.
Oh,
You
good.
need
I did 7, but not by much.
so you two take take the greater healings. Each one of you take a greater healing.
And I have 2 of the healing potions that we got from the very first episode
wow.
I have a note that says risky next to
Yep.
them.
I
Yep,
still
he's
have
got some of
sorry.
those.
I still have 2 of those as well that Paul
And then I have
had me hold
2
on to.
regulars. So
Okay.
I've got 4 on me.
I gotta throw more crap at you guys, man. You still have healing potions. I gotta hit you with more crap.
Full disclosure, Paul does not. Paul has used every healing potion that he has ever had.
That tracks.
Multiple times. So,
Paul has
Tevin,
ended up in some fights that nobody else was in.
Tevin, how many healing potions do you have, including the one greater healing?
2. So I've got just a regular healing potion and then the greater.
Okay. Why don't you take 2 of the regular healing potions as well? So that way you'll have 3 regular healing potions and a greater healing potion.
Okay.
Are these
then-
regular ones that we're divvying up? Or were these provided by Billy?
I do also have a potion of invisibility.
Okay, so that means there's 2 potions of invisibility. Here's my thought on the invisibility potion. I'm thinking the invisibility potion, at least one needs to go to Eric.
I agree with that.
So that way, if things really go south, and because Eric's going to have to be in the cave with us because we've got to have the lamp, but he needs to kind of be out of the way.
Well, Eric's got to go with us because we've got to get into the treasury.
Uh-huh.
I mean, unless the plan is to walk out with the wand, I figured we would put the wand in the lamp.
We got to do it in the circle. It has to be in one of the circles that are being made.
Oh.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
wand has to come. The
So the wand has to come out. Okay.
as the lamp. Like,
I thought we could put it in the treasury and then take it out that way.
No, we don't.
But,
Yeah, we don't have that time.
okay, I
unfortunately.
see now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
you can send him with silver, and if that time opens up, you could do it. But the chances of him having time to establish that circle
Right.
are not as great in the moment.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'll take 2 of the healing potions as well, so that way everybody's got some healing potions available.
I also
We'll
have
give,
some healing ability. Not much,
Right.
but some.
yeah, we'll give Eric one of the invisibility potions for that purpose. So just go ahead and give him that.
What is growth? What does that do?
It's a
Makes
potion
you
that makes you
taller.
taller, but you don't get any buffs, right? It just makes you bigger.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
think
random.
that
Yeah,
I mean, does it act like the spell growth? Because then there's some minor. I think it's
Let me
like
double check.
advantage on strength checks or something.
Yeah, I think it does stuff
Or
like
maybe it
that.
was
Let me
extra
check.
damage.
what that is. Items.
Oh, it's basically the enlarge spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Enlarge. Size doubles in its dimensions. Weight is multiplied by 8. No, it just makes you bigger. It doesn't have any other
You hit
ability.
harder or anything like that.
Yeah, target's weapons. Oh, the target's weapons grow to match its new size. While these weapons are enlarged, the target's attack with them deal another D4 damage.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: if I took that potion, because I swing a normal size sword already, if I took that potion, would the sword become an even bigger sword because it enlarges with Paul's size?
I mean, technically yes, but then you're gonna have the anti-magic, and it's gonna negate anything that you do with
Oh,
that.
it'll negate the potion that I take.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Paul's not going to realize this, but if he tries to drink a health potion, that
It's not gonna do
it's not going to
anything.
do anything.
Shit.
Yeah, he's
Tastes
just
like
going to
seltzer water.
Yeah, he's going to drink it,
Yeah.
thinking that he's getting healed, and he's not going to get any
Oh
health. That's
man,
hilarious.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah, that's
That's gonna
great.
be potentially a real rough day for Paul.
Some of you should think that through and make sure Paul doesn't get health potions. just don't give him. Just be like, just don't worry about it. It ain't gonna work.
and
They'll just be
understand what's happening so that somebody can steal the anti-magic field and somebody else can come behind him.
right. Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's hold on to your 2, and we're going to hide the 2 health potions we were going to give you.
well, I just divvy them up because the reason I thought about hiding because there were so many other people that were going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way that we would be able to divvy them up in an effective way. So if we had enough, I'd say just put them in a location where people know, hey, if you're hurt, get here because there's some health potions.
Right.
So, but I don't think it makes that sense when Danny explained like these other people are way powerful. They don't need
Okay.
the health potions. So I get what you're
So
saying.
who wants 2 more health potions?
They would not
I've
go
got
amiss with
4.
me
I can-
because I both get up close and don't have a lot of health.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Eden.
Yeah. So Eden, add 2 more health potions
Okay.
to your.
So Teffin, do you want the growth potion?
I don't think it's going to help me that much.
Okay. Is there somebody else that maybe that's like in the NPCs that gets up and close and personal?
I mean, there's several of
Hmm.
them that do. I don't know.
Yeah, so Arton could. We've got Wayland. And he'd
Claudius,
have
Fern. Oh, sorry.
what's
Oh, I was just listing off some of the other ones who mostly are
yeah,
up close.
Claudius, Callan if he's the twin that goes. As by that same thing, like he's stealthy, but Ren gets in close to hit.
Yeah, I would say whichever of them we're confident is going to be there to fight, giving them, if they're a strength fighter, that potion of giant strength would be a good thing for them to take for the fight. Because again, Paul would be the person that I would say would take that normally, but again, anti-magic field is going to negate it. So.
Well, I mean, just because we were working our way up the list, I was thinking maybe Eden would want the giant strength one because he said he might have to pick you up
It's true.
and maybe possibly.
Although-
But again,
yeah,
it might be
yeah.
negated if Paul is wearing an anti-magic
Yeah.
field.
And that might be true up against Cochet anyway, so you might actually want to hand this off to somebody who's going to be dealing with any undead recruits that he brings in, because if they're right up against him, and Paul is also right up against him, then they're going to run into the same problem that Paul is.
Right. So anybody that's around Paul, magic is not going to be useful.
Right. Anti-magic area, it's tricky.
Yeah, but it's going to work way more in our favor than against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And you're also fast, so like the coming in and out thing, depending on like how well he listens to directions by people that might have really powerful spells, could be a thing.
I mean, if people strategize with Paul ahead of time and said, "Here's what you need to do: you go in, you strike, you get out, so people can strike, and then get right back in again." Like, again, same situation for Paul. Like, opportunity attacks are always a disadvantage for Paul. So that wouldn't be a bad strategy to say, hey, get in, hit, get back out so other people can come in and hit, and then get back in before Cochet has the chance to use his magic. And so, Paul, that is not a difficult thing for Paul to understand if people are like, hey, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, battle strategy is something that he can absorb.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, so that way the casters who are casting from a distance can still get attacks in because I'll be out of the range when the attacks are coming in. So having the diameter be smaller
accidentally is better
for us, in fact. So that would be the strategy, is Paul would come in, get those licks in. So if that's the case, somebody up close could use the giant strength, because when I'm not up there, that magical ability will be there.
Will it? Or does it just end the effect?
I think magic doesn't work in the diameter, right? Isn't that how it works? Like, it just doesn't work within the diameter of that effect, or the radius of that effect being the spell.
Yeah, like if it were if I'm understanding the dilemma here, like if it were a one-off spell or something like that, then it would hide it from, or it would negate the effect in such a way that like you're not getting that effect anymore, because that spell had a limited duration as well. But if it's an area of effect, sort of a thing that lasts multiple rounds, and that's a mobile anti-magic, like when you move, the area that's negated is also going to be moving. So,
so magic will not work within my radius, but if you have a magical effect,
it won't just cancel it out.
Yeah, the moment.
Yeah. Now, I would argue if you got really close to somebody maintaining concentration with their spell, and that was like how that spell worked, is that you had to maintain concentration and you then enveloped that caster, then it would probably end the spell. Because you've just negated the origin of the spell.
The spell is gone, so you can't concentrate on the spell that's not in existence.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, like, that would be a thing, but if it's... What was that?
I said I just love D&D.
Right? It's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. And, like, a lot of this kind of crap is stuff that I'm making up on the fly because it's like, this is weird shit that you don't get into the weeds with very often, but, like, I dig it.
I would say let's give the potion of giant strength to...
What if we gave it to Fern, the giant?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it would make her... Well, the question is, the way Fern fights, is she fighting with strength, or is she using dexterity as her main attack stat?
Hers, I believe, is strength. Let me call that up again to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that hers...
She would be good to have for potential crowd control.
Yeah.
Not up in Cochet's face, but...
Come on.
I feel like she could just do a sweeping motion and take out several of them.
Sure.
Yeah, so she's strength-based.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
Unless anybody else wants it. I'm not trying to take a fun thing away from someone else.
No, I don't think it's effective for anybody else, really.
Okay. Yeah, these were random things, so I did not assign them based upon your capacity to use them. I scrolled through and hit, and where it landed is what you got, which is why we
Okay.
ended up with the beans.
Um, okay, so we know charm is going to be a problem. Is it wisdom saves that you have to save against for charming effects?
Yeah,
See.
typically.
Who's got a low wisdom in this group other than Paul, obviously?
12.
Let's see.
I've
Yeah,
got a
yeah, start with you
16.
guys.
So 12 for you.
12.
I've got a 14.
Okay.
Yeah, most of my guys, other than like Ziffle and Ticks are not the wisest, but those are probably the only two that would be in competition with these guys for low score wisdom wise.
Sure.
I can also counter charm is a bard ability. I can give advantage on saving throws against frightened or charmed. Now it
Nice.
But it's magic.
is unlimited in scope. Yeah, it is unlimited in number of people I can affect. However, it's like a full turn for me to do. So
Sure.
Well, but if you are in the middle of this anti-magic field, what isn't that a magical ability to charm someone? So he wouldn't be able to charm you.
No, I'm not worried. That's why I'm not going to
Right.
need the potion.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that if you actually are using that anti-magic field. For
Yeah,
you
it's
guys, it
like-
will depend on how quick Paul is going to be able to get up to him. So,
yeah, but I can help with counter charm, provided we are prepared for it.
Yeah, I would say that you should take the potion of
Well, for being charmed.
well, isn't that what potion of resistance allows you to resist against charming effects?
Well, no, I mean it says that you either roll a dice to choose by random. It's resistance against damage. So like we could pick
I'm thinking of something
necrotic,
else then.
but I have advantage against being charmed
Oh, because you're
because I'm an
race. That's
yeah.
right. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I think Tefan would
So-
be the right call there.
so that's a Tefan one.
Stefan.
Potion
Okay.
of resistance.
Because you can be necrotic.
Well, so Danny, this is a question for you then, because either the DM can choose the potion has a specific effect, or we roll on a table. So, do you want to roll on a table and figure
Yeah,
out
let's
what?
roll it.
Okay, it's a D10. If you want to roll a D10, and then I'll let you know what the table says.
That's a 3.
Fire damage. Okay, so it's a potion of fire resistance.
Okay.
That one might actually be handy in the hells.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair. So okay, so we'll keep that one for the whoever's in the team that's going to the hells. Then the grenade. Who wants the grenade? I mean, I know who wants the grenade, but I mean, Jason wants the grenade for Paul. But
I think Eden real specifically doesn't want the grenade.
Neither does Tefan.
okay, Paul will take the grenade.
This
Well, I
is
mean,
a great idea.
Be good because it's not magic. So
It is not magic. So, all right, and then the chime of opening again, same situation. We need that with whoever's on the team that's going into the hells. And the crown of whirling comets is the only thing we got left that we need to divvy out. I think the crown makes the most sense for Thea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boost that fly speed if you should need it.
Yeah, boost your fly
Yeah.
speed, and it gives you some nice distance attacks as well.
Okay.
And then, the bag of beans.
I was gonna say, do we want to have the bag of beans?
Well, don't give them to Paul because they won't work around me. So
Yeah, I'm really
Pete's
glad
sake,
actually.
I will
That's
not take
probably
the bag
a
of
thing.
beans.
I guess I'll hold on to that.
Yeah, I feel like Keith is just going to conveniently forget that he has them so that they don't play havoc in the world. But if ever there was a world that was appropriate to have such a bizarre magic item, I feel like this is the one. Like, it's already all kinds of squirrely.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much. Well, we got the bolos too.
I would take one of
Yeah.
them.
The bear traps, but I mean, we'll set.
We're
those
setting
up.
those up inside
Yeah.
of the thing, so those aren't going to be something that people carry. That'll be set up in there. So, did we decide who was getting the potion of fire resistance? Oh no, we're taking that with us to the hells. And then what about the potion of growth? Do we decide what we want to do with that?
I think
I
you
mean,
just
you know what? We could, Paul. I mean, if Paul has that while he's in the hells,
Oh, that's
and
true.
things start going south, and we need to fight our way in the hells, like he could pop the potion, and then that would make me more dangerous, and then have because I'm not activating the anti-magic field until we're in the battle with Cochet.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
You
the
had
growth
originally given that to. Oh no, that you did giant
Fern
strength.
has the giant strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, that would
so
make sense for you.
potion of growth. Okay. Golly, the image I have in my head of Arboretum being like twice the size that it already is glorious. So okay.
I love that weapon.
Yeah. So now we need to figure out what's the team that's going to the hell. Going to the hells, and what's the team that's going to be fighting.
That is a fair question.
I mean, they're not necessarily exclusive of one another.
Right.
There can be some Venn diagram overlap there. Probably some people exclusive to one or the other, but
So here is one of the things that I'm thinking might be part of it. Like Paul being in any stealthy endeavor is not a great option. But one of the things is Paul's natural speed makes it potentially beneficial for if things do go south to get a hold of the wand and be like, okay, Paul, you just bolt for the exit to get it out. Plus the fact that I have the disadvantage on attack of opportunities just make Paul probably the most likely candidate to be able to make a quick exit with the item. So we got to decide: does it make more sense for Paul to be there for that purpose, or does it make more sense to say we probably shouldn't risk having Paul there because we need the stealth?
So my vote would be to keep Paul there in case Cochet shows up and we have the option to try for a takedown.
Okay.
Having both Paul and the anti-magic field, I think, would be key.
Yeah. My plan was to have the anti-magic field basically strapped on me, ready to go, and just need to activate it whenever the battle with Cochet starts.
Right. And that could be in the hells.
Right. Okay. All right. So it makes sense for Paul to go. What other sneaky people do we need to have with us?
I mean, we have the stealth team. Our thieves.
yeah, you've got the thief group. You've got Ren. Ren and Tools are both quite sneaky. Arton is not particular.
what?
Like he's the leader of the group. He is not super
Hey
stealthy
guys, we
himself.
gotta go check on little man real quick. We'll be right back while you guys are keep planning stuff. Sorry.
No worries.
I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like stealth wise, like of the older school folks, Ren and Tools are probably the two that would go on that end. And Ren and Callan would probably tag out.
Right.
And then like Tix, Ziffle, Scylla's not crazy stealthy, but she's not stealthy too.
Right.
And
I mean, she's
she's
probably
you
on a
know,
level with Eden that way.
yeah. So like there are 4 there that are pretty sneaky. Does present the question of if you want any heavy hitters to go along to just in case. Like Paul's a
Right.
heavy hitter when he needs to be, so like you've got 1. And some of these have good spell damage and stuff like that. I guess Ren's a pretty heavy hitter by this point. Tools would be too.
I think we probably need at least one of the big spellcasters to come with us. As stinky as that is.
And Eric would be going with you to right? Or are you waiting on that?
I think he needs to be wherever the highest chance of Crochet is.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that we're guessing that that's going to be in the Hells. So
Yeah. I guess Billy would end up kind of sort of with you by default.
and then Kasha stays with the
Yeah, the
trap
cave
room.
group. Yeah.
What's the biggest body of water that's close by?
In which location?
Wherever we happen to be right now.
Oh, like planning?
Mm-hmm.
There is an underground, like a small underground lake that is specifically like kind of a healing lagoon kind of a place.
Okay.
Why?
Because I was looking through my inventory and realized I still have my Dust of Dryness.
Probably don't want to use it on that one though. We don't want to heal. But we don't want the water to pop out and heal.
Yeah, healing the enemy might not be what you're going for.
True.
Like there's
Is there a more mundane body of water close by?
I mean, the farther away it gets, like there's like a little river flow through. Like
Sorry, maybe I'm misremembering. We're not crazy far. It was maybe a couple of. Oh, I guess you're talking like within 24
within the
hours
ability
travel,
to visit it and load up some water.
Okay, I follow.
Hey guys, we gotta clean up a little boy and strip a
Uh-oh.
bed and everything, so we're gonna jump off.
That's
Yeah, this
okay.
is a good place to stop, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good spot to stop, and we can like there are just a couple more details and whatnot. We can deal with that over text too.
Yeah.
So not a problem. They've allocated a few different things, and we can